All right, what's up, guys? So this was just the robot's quote unquote last video on me, and yeah, I think we all know how that turned out. Yeah, so following because when exactly did he upload this? So if it 5 years ago, oh, so no, September 3rd. So like the hate and all that stuff, it was still going strong in things when it came to that time frame. Like I said, like it was maybe mid or like close to mid 2020. That's when all the hate had stopped and things, because they seen that I was getting involved with a much more bigger community, and that's the thing with just a robot and his fan base. That when and the funny thing was is like I predicted that so many different times where they're gonna get mixed in with the wrong crowd, and yeah, it's gonna be one of those situations where they can't fight back. They just gonna have to sit there and take it. So yeah, there's some well, there's one fan in particular of just the robots that's still trying to keep hope alive and things. But yeah, other than that, I'm like I don't know. I seen it pointless and things, but yeah, it's and I know people are probably wondering that too, like did I like what was my thought process like when I seen that this had got uploaded. So I knew that the hate was still gonna continue on. I didn't, I guess really care if it was gonna be the last video. I kind of had a feeling though that I was like, there is gonna be another reason why he's gonna find a reason to make a video on me. And so I do remember seeing that as a tweet where he had said that the only way he'll make a video on me is if I get arrested or something. I'm like, why am I getting arrested? Like, what reason? That's what I would like to know. What reason would you think that I would have, like, talking to just a robot? Why would I get arrested? What would I be out here doing to put myself like in a situation of getting arrested? But obviously, he broke that whole thing where he goes on, makes a video about me asking. This was like last year when I was blowing up with the voiceovers and stuff. He goes and makes this video like, oh, where is TMossBoss right now? And then I knew that it was just like a desperate attempt at him trying to reignite the beef. And I'm like, fam, if it comes down between making videos about you, where it's only gonna be you and your fans watching it, or making voiceover videos where millions of people are gonna be watching it, I think we all know the obvious answer. It's just funny how his fans were like, "Oh, you need just a robot. You can't survive without him. You need him to make videos." And it's like I honestly don't. I'm like that whole time frame, and when me and him was going at it, I'd sit down and I think about that, like what would have that time been like if he wasn't making videos on me. So that's why I'm like, I'm I'm honestly chilling, when you sit down and think about it. But anyways, but yeah, he made that video. Then when I was watching that Lyle Convoy video, he said he was working on another video on me because I had so it was like a month prior before all that Cinnabear crap had happened. I had made a video calling him a pedophile because he uploads a video explaining how to get away with being a pedophile. And it was like, so to explain the context behind that video, I guess he claims that it was a joke. But when you watch that video, the short that he made, because it was a short video, so when you watch that, like an actual, like the YouTube short, not like if you go to his like the main videos, like no, it was a YouTube short type video. But yeah, you go there, explain to me what you guys seen, because I'm like, if you don't see, because that's the thing, like at least I can say with shorts, the difference between shorts and like full length videos is that it's going to attract a different audience. So there's going to be people that just simply just scroll through the shorts, or yeah, look for shorts to watch. They see that video, all they're going to see is some random guy explaining how to get away with being a pedophile. Do you think everybody that watches that video is going to know that, oh, it was supposed to be a joke or whatever? And I'm like, that's not a joke. So I did call him a pedophile because I was like, that's just weird. I'm like, there's all these different, or you, and my thing is this: if you were using that video to promote another video, you could have very well said, hey guys, go check out this video that I uploaded talking on whatever. At least then it's like you wouldn't have had me calling you a pedophile. But I guess that upset him, and I'm like, okay, well then don't do videos like that. I'll just say. But the thing that tripped me out was that, so after that, he just pretty much doubles down on it, and he's just still cracking more jokes about being a groomer and all that stuff. And I'm like, all right, if he wants to do that, he very well could do that. And then a month later, he gets called out for defending one. And so I'm like, fam, he was trying to get on me. And then it's like literally a month later, you go down for this crap of defending a groomer or a pedophile or whatever. And so it's like, yeah, it's just one of those things where I'm like, I find Just a Robot a funny character. You know, he definitely, he's one of those people where I'm like, you don't think things through, huh? You just do it. Now, like, you don't think of the consequences, all that stuff. You just go out and do it. You're like, hey, I'm just gonna wing it. I don't care what happens. So, but no, let's go ahead, check out this video. I figure, you know, for the 10-year anniversary of me being a full-time content creator, I'm like, yeah, let's just take a trip down memory lane and just, you know, watch whatever and things. But yeah, I was like, and I was curious to see what was said in this video. But anyways. Made that intro for him because I know he ain't make it.
Just a robot.
Oh golly gee willikers,
This is, so for those that don't know, the editor behind this video, so if you guys remember the Joshua, yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys, if you're I guess familiar with Just a Robot or known of him for some time, you probably already know of his editor, Joshua. But yeah, his editor, me and him, we had bumped heads, so it doesn't surprise me that for former editor, he had some stuff happen to him. But yeah, it's like me and him had bumped heads, and so it don't surprise me seeing him help out Just a Robot things. But yeah, it's like I think since then he's turned over a new leaf. Like, he's trying to be a better person because, like I say, he's had his own stuff that he needs to be worried about. But yeah, overall, I'm like, you know, but yeah, still, let's just see what's being said.
Video on TMossBoss? Haven't you beaten this dead horse enough? It's a bloody paste at this point.
Well, this is indeed the final video on TMossBoss. And I planned for this to be the last video on TMossBoss ever since he made his first response to me. And I'll explain what I mean by that at the end of this.
He made follow-up videos after that. So it was like, that was the thing with Just a Robot, was that I didn't want to be bothered with him. That's something that he always like forgets to leave out in these videos, is that I had said that numerous times. I don't want to be bothered with you. Even that night when me and him, when we got into it in December 2016, it was like, same situation. I didn't want to be bothered with him. So it's like, you're making it seem like that you were forced to do these videos. Like, I left you no choice. Fam, if you would have just listened and heard what I was saying, you would have seen that a long time ago that I didn't want to be bothered with you. But anyways.
Video. So last time I made an offer to TMossBoss. If he wanted to do one more video on me and get the last word in, then he can go for it. And I would not make a response or talk about him anymore. But if he made 2 videos about me, then the deal was off. Well, in less than a week, he made it.
It's like, and I was supposed to know that when I'm like, I ain't seen no comments, I ain't seen no messages, no nothing. He's obviously said that in one of his videos. And that was the thing. Back then, I wasn't watching his videos. I was just more so seeing the comments. But yeah, it was like none of his fans, I think they wanted the beef and the drama to continue, because I remember seeing no comments like that. Maybe he did, and I just forgot. I'm like, it was some time ago, but yeah, I'm like, I don't remember hearing no stuff like that. So if my thing is this, when you have people from your community making lies and rumors and, you know, harassing me and my friends and all that stuff, of course I'm gonna talk about that. So it's like, yeah, it's like, talk about that. Talk about how your fans was harassing my friends. I'm over here outside exercising, and then there's friends of mine that's messaging me talking about, like, hey, who is this guy? Or Twitch streamers that I followed. Well, this was like before this video, but I do remember that there was this one streamer at the time when she was actively streaming, and I think it was like right after that night in December. But no, I remember she was I went and joined her stream, and she was all like, yeah, this guy joined my stream and was going off about you and stuff, and was talking about YouTube, the YouTube videos and things. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, what does she have to do with this situation? So that's why I'm like, yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, you know, when you just look at all the stuff that he did, and then just what the times where I just like, if my videos had upset you that much, you would have thought that even yourself would have just left me alone. Like, all right, I ain't gonna be bothered with this guy. No, you put yourself in a situation, or I just think overall he was using me for views. You know, it's like his channel, it probably, I had to say, it probably was getting to this point where his channel was falling off and he wasn't really getting a whole lot of views and stuff, because I can't remember when exactly he did hit 200k. But and yeah, he might have uploaded some videos even after that did well and stuff. But yeah, eventually it did get to a point where he got desperate, and that's why he did that video talking about, oh, what's TMossBoss doing right now. So anyways,
trilogy on me and my fan base, calling us racist. In the first video of TMossBoss's little trilogy, he shows one comment of someone calling him a monkey. Now this person claims to not be a fan of mine, and I've never seen him in my comments section before. I even checked my comments history.
Yeah, my thing is this. Easily somebody can just go, because that's something that Just a Robot and his fans have been, and I don't know if they picked that up from times where I've talked about it, or if that's just something that's like well known on the internet, but people can create like dummy accounts and just go commenting off of that. And I don't know how many times I blocked Just the Robot's fans, and they just go and create another account talking about, oh, you can't block me, TMossBoss. Like, I'm still going to harass you, and you're going to accept Just the Robot's offer and all this other stuff. And I'm like, you guys are adults. Understand that you are an adult talking like this in another person's comment sections. But anyways,
but TMossBoss still used him as an example to say that my entire fan base is racist. Now, I've constantly joked about how so many reactors are, well, black. But I was surprised that none of them really ever played the race card. I think CJ So Cool has done it a few times, but out of all of the big reactors, he was always the angriest one. I always thought that one day a reactor would play the race card against me, but they never did, and I was beginning to give up.
So why would they? My thing is this, if you're not racist, why would they play the race card against you? When you notice a pattern with somebody, yeah, it's something where it's like, it might have not clicked in your head that you're a racist, but literally everybody, like people that I've talked to, like currently right now with like all this stuff surrounding Just a Robot, yeah, it's like when I bring that up, it's not like they're defending you saying, oh, well, I think you just misunderstood or any, like they're like, no, yeah, I can see it. Like even the one person that was all like, you literally joined their call just dropping the N-word because your roommate gave you permission. And that's up where it's like, you shouldn't put your roommate in a situation like that where they have to give you, one would think you would have a little bit more respect for your roommate and stuff, and like, okay, I'm not going to say the N-word, you know, because it's like, we're friends, we're cool, I have respect for you, I know that that is an offensive word, I know that that's offensive to people. Yeah, it's like you and your roommate might be cool. It's like if you and your roommate want to sit down and talk like that, that's between you and your roommate. But when you get other people involved, fam, come on now. It's like, how do you think people are supposed to look at it the same way as your roommate does? I'm like, everybody is different. It's like everybody is different. So my thing is this: if you go to a country where it's like abuse towards women is okay, and somebody hauls off and slaps your girlfriend, it's like, how are you gonna respond to that? You're gonna act a certain way about that. You're gonna get offended by that type of stuff, and you most likely gonna probably end up trying to fight somebody. So yeah, it's one of those things where it's all like, you have to have that same type of energy where it's all like, okay, if somebody, it's like, I gotta know not to say or do anything offensive. But yeah, it's like to sit here and defend it rather than apologize for it, like, you know, or realizing like, hey, it's like gone too far. It's like people are like, you know, being racist, harassing, and doing all this other different stuff towards me. It's like, you know, this stuff got to stop. But nah, he knew what he was doing. So that's why I'm like, I'm at a point in time now where I'm like, hey, whatever happens to him and his channel, I'm like, so be it. But
all hope of them ever doing it. But now at long last, TMossBoss has used a race card against me. But he still has to lie about me in order to do it.
I've received a lot of racist comments from these guys, from different social media platforms. And yeah, I mean, coming from the, you know, I mean, that community or that fan base, you know, coming from the person that they idolize, where back 3 years ago, all he was just doing was attacking black reactors, it makes sense. It all makes sense now.
TMossBoss has lied about me on a few occasions, saying I talk about nothing but reactors, or at least mostly reactors. But you just have to skim through my channel to find I talk about way more than just reactors. And I don't just talk about black reactors, I have talked about a white one before, who I refer to as the rare albino reactor. And I have talked about the whole Fine Bro situation. Remember when they tried to trademark the word react? Yeah, everybody.
But my question is why were you literally in my comments? And probably were, I just think that that's what Just a Robot situation was that I was the only one that responded to him. And he said it himself that it's all like, no other like black reactors had pulled the race thing with him. But it's like, so you pretty much admit that you were like in like black reactors comments channel or comment sections and stuff trying to start things with them. I just so happen to be the only one that responded and paid attention to it. But it's like, fam, you made videos on Rashad the Reactor. You made videos on Tyro Magnus. You made videos on Jinx and his brother CJ So Cool and myself. You made one video on yeah, just that one white guy that's doing reaction videos, and everybody had talked about that Fine Bro situation. It's like you're trying to like make it seem like, oh, my thing is this. You're not talking on the numerous racist comments that I was getting and racist interactions I was getting from your fans. Man, the crazy thing about it is that they like to say that too, that, oh, well, there was other communities that you were getting into it with. Yeah, they wasn't being racist, though. I'm like the only other person that was being racist, but it was like, I don't know, like it was racism, but at the same time the person was black. But I'm like, his fan base had died off a long time ago. He didn't even have a fan base. But no, talking on Minnesota Boy, and I'm like, his fan base died. I remember the video too that pretty much did it for him. So anyways, there was a video that I did on Minnesota Boy where I think it just pretty much like shut down like all the stuff around, because at that point I was just cracking jokes and having fun with the situation. So anyways, I think he did a video on me, or he just did some random video, but anyways, so there was a point where I had paused the video and it was a muscle in his face. It looked like a penis. I was all like, nah, bro. I was all like, bro, he's dick face. I'm like, that's what he is. And so I just was pretty much just cracking jokes on that. And I think that's what just shut down the whole situation between me and Minnesota Boy, because it was like, okay, you can't come back from that. It's like, this guy's just out here clowning on you, roasting you, cracking jokes and things. Can't come back from that. It's like, it's funny too when everybody's just putting laughing emojis in the comment sections at that part and things. So yeah, overall though, but that was probably the one, but it was like from other black people though. So that's why I'm like, but yeah, and that, like I said, that had died off a long time ago. The only other person that I was getting into it with from 2016 to 2020 was you and your fan base. So it's like, fam, stop trying to make it seem like that, oh, I didn't have no wrongdoing, I didn't do nothing, but meanwhile, I am making videos on TMossBoss and encouraging all of this hatred and drama and stuff. And it's like, bro, come on now. It's one of those things where I'm like, man, I would love to see Just a Robot. Like, that's the thing where I'm like, if there's ever a time where we would have to collaborate and do a video, it has to be a lie detector test video. I have to say that would probably be the only video that I would want to do with him, is a lie detector test. I'm like, call that one white guy that be going to people doing lie detector. He'd be like, thumbs up, thumbs down. I'm like, yeah, like let's get him involved. I'm like, that'll be the only video. Other than that, as far as anything else, debating, talking, all that, no. I'm like, but a lie detector test, oh yes. Cool, because there are so many different questions that I'm like, I know by default you would fail them, but anyway.
He was making a video about that. Now, TMossBoss says that in his second video, he's going to show a bunch of racist comments that my fans have made towards him.
I'm just going to pretty much find all the racist comments that these guys have sent me in the past 3 years. I found some of them, but I think there's more. Because, I mean, it was just like, I think the ones that I found was just from this year.
And in his second video, he does show a bunch of comments. He doesn't talk in this video, he just shows the comments on screen. And a lot of these guys I've never seen before in my own comment section. In fact, I only recognize one of them. So I'm pretty sure these racist
So it's like, okay, so my thing is this. And if you watch that video, it was literally just nothing but comments just of people being racist and stuff. So you recognize one of them. So you would have thought right then and there, I'm like, okay, yeah, there's an issue here. There's a problem. I need to handle this. I need to talk about this. No, I didn't get no apology. I ain't get nothing. So that's why I'm like, the funny thing is that I know that Just a Robot's not gonna apologize, so that's why I'm like, yeah, people have been saying I've been having fun with this situation. I just gotta embrace it at this point. I'm having fun with this situation because I'm like, yeah, it's funny how on a lot of these different things that he's talking on, where I'm like, I realized like how dumb it was, like the stuff that he was saying, and I'm like, man, and people were like, they were standing by. Well, now it's like, yeah, you got it where there's people that are like, no, that's I don't support him no more. I think back on those videos and a lot of them were dumb, and I think that's why I'm so curious to see, because I'm like, yeah, these videos were pretty stupid. I'm like, man, I should have reacted to these a long time ago. But anyways,
Comments are mostly from Minnesota Boys fan base and not from my fan base.
It was about
okay. So, like I said, and I kind of had a feeling that he was gonna bring that up. Minnesota Boy was gone from YouTube. Like, he wasn't actively posting. That's the thing that a lot of people don't understand, how the internet works. When you have like a strong fan base and you like, I mean, they're watching your videos on the regular and all that stuff, when you make a video on somebody, because it wasn't like because he can't say that he wasn't making no videos on me from that during that time from 2016 to 2020. Minnesota Boy, though, on the other hand, yeah, he could say that because he had, I think he did lose access to his channel at some point in time. Like, I remember his channel had got hacked and he couldn't upload on that channel anymore. So Minnesota Boy, he wasn't, because I remember, yeah, in I think it was like 2015, 2016, that's when he was doing like live streams and was doing videos about me and stuff. But then at some point in time, I do remember that his channel got hacked, like all his information had got leaked out. I was like, wow, that's crazy. But yeah, Minnesota Boy, he actually, and I had mentioned that in the video where I talk on that night in December between me and Minnesota Boy, was that just a robot, or not just a robot, Minnesota Boy was using one of his fans to pretty much like make videos about me and stuff. So that's how, because there was the one video I always talk on where it was like they were going around trying to spread a rumor saying that I was adopted. And so, but yeah, Minnesota Boy, he couldn't even upload on his channel at one point in time. So it wasn't him. That's something that I'm all like, you know, I might not be all buddy or cool with Minnesota Boy, but at least I can say that much about him, that the racism with him had died off. It wasn't like his fans were still. So my thing is this, right? Because Minnesota Boy, he had to actually start up a whole new channel, and so he don't have like his fans, he don't have none of that. Like, he pretty much, he's just a nobody right now. So it's like, what about the comments I'm getting now, the racist comments I'm getting now from your fans? I really wish I would have not deleted the comments, but I'm like, man, it's like still to this day I'm getting comments from your fans. Some are racist, some are not racist, but still I'm like, you gonna say that those are Minnesota Boy fans too? That's why I'm like, man, you know, I think I might go back, because I'm like, I'm trying to think. I feel like that there were some comments in there where it's like people mentioning just the robot's name, but if not that, then I'm like, that's the thing though, it's like you can't deny that you and your fans are racist. It's like all the different stuff I done heard about you guys. I'm like, even with Joshua, it's like even he had to apologize for saying racist things about me. And so that's why I'm like, him trying to play that whole act of like, oh, I ain't said or did nothing or encouraged anything racist. It's like, okay, so why is everybody around you saying that you did? I'm like, my thing is this, yeah, obviously you're going to defend yourself and not put yourself in that spotlight, but everybody else, it's like, what reason would they have to lie about you? Like, former fans of yours, what reason would they have to lie on your name? That's what I would like to know. But anyways,
about me, but even like any jokes or anything that's cracked about me, like I laugh about it. Even like racist jokes. I remember when that whole crap with Minnesota Boy happened, people was calling me some crazy racist names. I laughed about it.
But still, because I
and how long ago was that? He's showing, so that video, I'm for certain I had recorded that video long before I did this. But my thing is this, I'm like, how are you going to show a video that had absolutely nothing to do with the situation? Man, just a robot. I'm like, bro, he really be trying to beat them allegations, but I'm like, bro, the thing is this, if you did that crap, you can't beat them allegations. You just gotta accept it, all right? If anything's, apologize for it, but it's like trying to point the fingers at other people. And I'm saying it's just funny to me where it's like, then you see his videos now, like where the Cinnabaric crap, and he's trying to point fingers at other people, and it's like, why can you not just take no accountability for yourself? Like, why is it like just one particular situation that you're involved in, you can't just apologize for it? But anyways,
recognize one person, I'm just going to say this. Please don't say anything racist towards TMossBoss. You have plenty of material to work with. You don't have to focus on his race. And all it does is give him more ammo to fire back with. Now let's move on to the third part of TMossBoss's little trilogy.
So, first thing I would like to talk about
Oh,
is
Blasphemous HD. I forgot about him too. So yeah, my thing is this. And at that time being, that was a popular thing with black people that do reaction videos. Yeah, just people would go after them. They'd go after their race, make all these racist comments, but all like, oh, that's all you guys are good for is stealing and this and that. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I'm entertaining my fans. And I'm like, and I'm at times entertaining if the content creators that they see the reaction video, I'm entertaining them too. So at the end of the day, who do you think I'm gonna listen to? You guys that don't like reaction videos, or the people even the people that I'm reacting to where they like my reaction video, and then the fans that like the reaction video. So, anyways,
situation regarding Joshua. Now, if you go back and watch it, I talked about how he was acting and how he was singing. Not once in that whole video did I mention anything about his mom. I think if I did, it was that he was screaming in the backseat of her car, which is something I had already said before in previous videos. So, yeah, please, somebody show me in that video, roasting haters for 20 minutes or however long I said it was, please somebody show me when did I talk about his mom.
Well, TMossBoss, I never claimed in that video you insulted Joshua's dead mother. But in my last video on you, TMossBoss is evil, you said this.
No emotions to that whatsoever. Plus, it's like when he even uploaded his response video to that, he didn't even seem like he was all serious and upset. And it's just like the fact that right after that, like me, if I lost my mom, it's like you guys probably wouldn't see me for a while. This guy goes right back onto YouTube and still brings up my name. So it's like it has me thinking, it has me wondering, is my name more important than this own dude's mom?
That clip was from These Parents Failed These Kids rant. Not from.
but my thing is this. So what I was pretty much saying was that because people were commenting that a lot, even still to this day commenting, and they say that I made fun of Joshua's mom. I made fun of her situation. And I'm like, please, people, point out the part in any video where I'm pointing and laughing at Joshua's dead mom. Because my thing is this. I'm close with my mom. That's something where I'm like, I know if I'm in his shoes, I wouldn't be getting involved. So yeah, I still stand by that. It's like as soon as something that serious gets brought up, talked about, whatever, and let's just say that that was the case, where if it's somebody is that evil to where they gonna make some funny, not funny, but overall make some remarks and about my mom, it's like that. I'm like, okay, I know how I can get. I know I'm gonna get upset. I know I'm gonna get all riled up and all that. I think it's best if I exclude myself out of the situation, all right? Because this person is fighting dirty. So I'm like, I ain't even going to get involved. He goes out and he's literally helping people put together videos, just like this video, for an example, helping people put together videos of them talking on the situation. And then on top of that, pretty much like misusing the situation, saying that it's like, and my thing is this, he wasn't trying to clear it up. He wasn't trying to say, no, he just made fun of the video. He didn't have no knowledge of, but it's like, what my thing is this though. What do you think is going to attract more views? And I think that was the business with Just a Robot and his fans. They're like, what's going to attract more views? TMossBoss makes fun of a random video, or TMossBoss makes fun of this guy's dead mom. I'm saying it's like, yeah, people took advantage of the situation and they ran with it. So, and that's why I'm like, they still to this day talk about it. And I just look at it like this. Joshua sat down, he took the time to apologize to me. And that's something where I'm like, anytime when I mention Joshua's name, I am going to make sure that I mention that. And if I didn't, then I do apologize. But overall, I'm like, but no, anytime when I mention Joshua's name, I always make sure to mention that there was that day where he didn't have to, but he did. And he took the time to apologize for all the stuff that he had put me through. And I accepted that apology. And I guess if I didn't respond to it right then and there, then I'm responding to it now. It's like, Joshua, I accept your apology. So it's one of those things where I'm like, yeah, it's like if he sat down, he took the time to apologize, and you would think he was the main victim in the whole situation. I'm saying, what's your excuse? That's why it's like, it's just at times where it's just with Just a Robot. He tries so hard to make himself seem right on whatever conversation that he's having. But it's like, fam, yeah, if you got people in your ear hyping you up, making it seem like that you're right, then yeah, sure. But if not, that's why you see him in his current situation right now, where he don't have nobody in his ear hyping him up. He don't have nobody telling him that he's saying and doing the right things. You had people telling you was doing the wrong things, and look how that turned out. It's like now you're like in your community, if you're not one of the most hated people, you are the most hated person in your community. And the whatever, I guess, commentary community, whatever he wants to consider himself to be a part of. But yeah, it's just one of those things where I'm like, man, like just a robot. It's like, bro, the way he would like tell a story or do something, it's like you have to like look up like, I guess like proof or evidence. But if you look at his proof and evidence, yeah, it's like I would definitely recommend you get a second opinion and stuff. But anyway,
from the roasting my haters video or any other video, stop trying to change which video I was talking about. And in this clip, TMossBoss is straight up lying. For those of you who haven't seen the video TMossBoss is evil, Joshua made a video saying he was done talking about TMossBoss. But then TMossBoss made a roast video on Joshua, who was singing a song to his mother who passed away. The fact that TMossBoss would cover this video out of all of Joshua's videos was quite suspicious. Needless to say,
I really do wish, though, that there is a thing that lets you know, because I know that they do that with comments, but they don't do it with the description. And just like I said before, and that's something that I stood by, wasn't in the title, wasn't in the description, wasn't in the comment sections. I ain't seen nothing regarding his mom. So I clicked on that video. I got to talking about it. I didn't know what the context was for that until afterwards. Then that's when it was like, oh yeah, now it's like a tribute video for. So I'm like, maybe there was a comment, but it was like probably amongst like a bunch of other different comments where it might have said that. But I'm like, from what I seen, they ain't say nothing about that video ain't say nothing about his mom. So that's why I had talked on it. If it did, I would have skipped past that video. I'm not gonna go. My thing is this. If I know the context behind the video, like if it says in the title, if it says in the description, or even if it was like some part in the beginning of the video, I'll like, oh, tribute video for my mom or something. I'm like, oh, I ain't gonna talk on that. That's serious. But yeah, it's just the way that these guys made it seem. They just made it seem like that was just some like ruthless, didn't care, I'm gonna talk on whatever situation. And I'm like, look, bruh. Even like before and after, there's been times where I've gotten into it with people where they might have like like RIP grandmother or RIP grandfather or somebody in their description or whatever, and I'm like, okay, clear. The way people make it seem like that, it's all like, oh, he just talks on whoever, and it's like I ain't gotten to it with so many different people. I ain't seen stuff like that material right there, but I'm not gonna do that because I'm not that type of person. I'm like, there's other things to talk on. I'm like, there's other things to mention, but yeah, if I don't know, I don't know. So that's why it's like, trying to make it seem like that I had knew. Then it's like, what evidence do you have to show that I knew that his mom wasn't here with us? Where I had said that even in this video, where I was all like that he was screaming in the backseat of his mom's car. So to my knowledge, I assumed that she was alive. So that's why I'm like, man, people, it's like, if you're going to tell a story, tell it right. But anyway.
This made Joshua and many others very angry with TMossBoss. Now
and then to say that he was all like that was his last video. So I'm like, so who edited this video? Yeah, he might have did the last video on his channel, but as far as everybody else, like, and that's the funny thing where it was like when I was calling people out on that, then it was just, I think it might have had a lot to do with the situation that Joshua got involved in, and that's why a lot of people had took his videos down. But overall though, no, but it was all like with his just he was still helping out people doing videos talking on this situation. So that's why I'm like, what was up with that? It's like, yeah, he claims that he's done, but he's going around helping out people doing videos about me talking on the situation and changing the narrative. So what was up with, I would like to know what was up with that. But anyway.
Willing to give TMossBoss the benefit of the doubt, I was hoping he would say, sorry, my bad, or at least something like that. But instead he lies and says, Joshua just kept on talking about me. Hating on me is more important to him than his own mother. What the hell? But in case I didn't make this clear before, Joshua was done talking about him. Joshua didn't go right back to talking about TMossBoss. The video he made on TMossBoss after he said he was done talking about him was the video where TMossBoss was making fun of him singing a tribute song to his mother. If you want more info about this, check out my video, TMossBoss is Evil. But the fact that TMossBoss is still making excuses about this baffles me. Instead of owning up to his pretty blatant mistake, he's saying, I didn't talk about him in this video.
I like how this part of the video, it could be for just a robot too, but he's like, if you guys have seen the movie Friday and seen that one scene where I think the character's name was Red, but it was played by the rapper DJ Pooh. But yeah, it was like they were trying to get on him about not helping Smokey and Craig out when Debo was trying to like, I know people are like, wait a minute, Smokey, Red, so like what are these names, bro? Debo, I'm like, what are these names? But I guess, like, you know, for somebody of my, you know, color persuasion, you most likely have seen the movie Friday. But nah, there was a part in there where Craig, the characters Craig and Smokey, was trying to get on the other character Red for not helping him out when Debo was trying to fight Craig. And he just kind of took a moment and paused, and he was like, oh, that was different. And so, yeah, I just feel like that, you know, just a robot, he done said that about once or twice a day. He probably done sat down, watched Friday, because he's seen some black people talking about it. He's like, oh, let me watch this African-American movie and see what it's all about. He was like, yeah, I can learn some things. You know, I can learn, like, black slangs. Be like, oh, I know what you guys are talking about, and it's just black people looking at it. I'm like, what? It's like, man, get out of here, being weird and stuff. So, but yeah, it's just funny how, like, in a lot of Just the Robots videos, it's always a situation where it can easily fall right back on him, but it's just something that he overall says. But anyway,
Why are you guys hating on me? Because we're not talking about that video, sweetheart. We're talking about a different video where you said it. Stop making excuses.
I refuse. I refuse for people to lie on my name and to make it seem like that, oh, I'm just this cold, heartless person and things, just out here making fun of people that passed away.
TMossBoss, the only one lying on your name is you. I didn't lie about you. I showed clips of you doing it. It came from your mouth, not mine.
but okay. So, again, what video do you guys have, or a video that I uploaded, because the only video that I have of when I'm remotely talking on anything, yeah, it was the roasting haters. But my thing is this: didn't mention his mom, didn't know his mom's situation, but the way that people are wording it, they're making it seem like that I knew of her situation and I made fun of her situation. Why would I? My thing is this: it's about videos, correct? I'm like, this is all, like, all this stuff was all about videos. Why would I stoop that low to talk on something that dark to get the upper hand on making some videos about people? It's like, come on now. I know that there are some people out there that would do some stuff like that. Not me. I'm like, that's something where I'm like, throughout my years of living within content creating and outside of content creating, I ain't never stooped that low in no argument, you know? So yeah, it's one of those things where if I'm aware of the situation, because yeah, you know, it's like, my thing is that I might like, if, like, for an example, so if I crack a joke and I say something about a person's grandmother and they let me know, like, oh, she ain't here with us, I'm like, oh, my bad, didn't know. I'm like, after that, never talking on that person's grandmother again. All right. But the way that they're making it seem like that I was aware of the situation, I knew of his mom's situation, and I still just went after him anyways. So it's like, my thing is this: like I said, Joshua had apologized. He very well didn't need to apologize. And it's one of those things where it's like, you know, if I did say something regarding his mom, trust me, that video, it would have been an actual video. It would have been a video of me. And that's something where I'm like, I would have had to apologize. But I'm like, I have not seen no video of me making fun of his mom. So unless somebody, I don't know, maybe I was like out of my mind or something, don't remember recording that video. But I'm like, please, somebody show me the clip. You can tweet me. Yeah, I'm like, no, tweet me the clip where it is me making fun of his mom. Because I'm like, if that's not the case, then I'm like, people, stop talking on it. I'm like, please, just stop talking on it. If you guys maybe change the narrative, like, oh, you made fun of the video, then okay. Then I'm like, but like I said, didn't know. So it's just, but yeah, but the thing is this: I said how, because people are still gonna bring it up, even and still be saying like, oh, you made fun of his mom, and all I'm just gonna say from this point on is, okay, and Joshua knows of the situation. Just a robot, he might not want to admit to it. He knows of the situation. I was literally there of the situation, so I'm like, yeah, as long as we all know the real truth, That's gonna be my response from now on when people bring that up. Like, oh, you made fun of Joshua's mom. Okay, and I'm like, oh, you ignored the suicidal girl. All right, if that's what y'all want to say, okay, and I'm like, that's just gonna be my response from now on. It's like, you guys, my thing is this: you gonna tell lies on my name? And I'm like, all right, yeah, sure, I'll go along with the lies, and it's just gonna be pretty much just me. If you want that cold heartless person, then you gonna get that cold heartless person. But with the truth, yeah, then it's like you're gonna get the truthful person. So, anyways,
Now, TMossBoss goes on to talk about the whole suicidal girl situation. I'm not going to talk about it right now because I'm going to talk about it later on in the video, and I don't want to repeat myself.
The Just the Robot fans, that whole community, you can't talk with them. You can't reason with them.
TMossBoss, so many of my fans have tried to reach out to you and tried to reason with you. Stop lying about them.
oh, but was it the racist fans that were calling me the N-word left and right? Oh yeah, that's such a nice way of reaching out to a person, calling them the N-word and saying all these other different racist remarks. Man, I'm like, I got to do that from now on. I'm like, teach me your people skills. I'm like, man, if that's how you go about having a conversation, oh yeah, please let me know. So now I'm so good at arguing and conversating with people and stuff. It's like, man, get out of here.
The kid called me a monkey, then tried saying that it's not racist. And then me, getting him caught up, like, hey, go over to Harlem and try, like, because he's in New York. I was like, bro, go over to Harlem and go over there with that same attitude, calling people a monkey, and then try convincing them that it's a joke. See how that turns out for you. And, yeah. He eventually blocked me. He eventually blocked me and stuff, and so I was just like, yeah, that's exactly what I thought.
I love how he's laughing about someone blocking him. TMossBoss, you have blocked me and my fans multiple times. I gotta say, your hypocrisy is showing. But I never
Because
understood.
I don't want to be bothered. This guy tweets out to me, and then so I get him caught up with something. And then, yeah, I'm laughing at the fact that I got him caught up in his own conversation, and then that's why he blocked me. I blocked you guys because I didn't want to be with you. The thing is this. When there's like, because this was like when I was working in Seattle and stuff, a lot of these guys had to have been unemployed at the time, so of course they tweeting me all hours of the night and stuff, or commenting underneath my videos. I'm like, that's why I blocked you guys, because it's like you just saying toxic things anyways. So it's like you're trying to make it seem like that, oh, we were just trying to have a logical conversation with you, and I'm like, insulting me isn't a logical conversation. Insulting my race, that's not a logical conversation. If you're trying to have a logical conversation, I'm like, then maybe you guys, the way that you go about it, yeah, it definitely shows that you wasn't really a reader, or you wasn't really involved with people and stuff. But I'm like, my thing is this: if I have a conflict with somebody, if I have an issue with somebody and I need to talk to them about stuff, I'm not going to approach the conversation like, oh, well, let me insult them and see how it turns out. No, I'm going to like, hey, so my thing is this, all right, so I guess like roles reverse. A person's uploading a videos that I don't like, I'm not even gonna watch the videos, all right? If they upload videos I don't, but if my thing is this, if I knew that these videos wasn't gonna be good for them, instead of like, oh, well, let me just go in insulting them, I'm gonna befriend them. I'm like, hey, I've been meaning to bring this up like ever since we became cool with one another, but the videos that you're uploading, I just got a gut feeling that in the long run, them videos is gonna be bad for you. Like it's gonna get you caught up in things, and I don't know how reaction videos is gonna get a person caught up unless they react to something crazy. But yeah, my thing is this: I'm gonna try to convince them, but at the same time, if that person is an adult, you can't really convince a person to stop doing this, especially when they're adult. So it's just one of those things where I'm all like, I would try my hardest. If it don't work, I'm like, hey, then they just gonna have to learn things the hard way. If something happens, something happens. But I'm like, hey, look, I tried warning you, you didn't listen. So it's just one of those things. I'm like, you're gonna have to suffer the consequences and stuff. That was never the situation with Just a Robot. Like, literally, first video he did about me, insults left and right, insulting my arguing skills and stuff. And it's like, bro, that's the thing. I'm not doing videos to argue with people. I'm doing videos because I want to just do videos. So it's like, at least my thing is this. At least I can say that I ain't never did a video that got me canceled. I don't, but I think between the both of us, only one of us can't say that. So I said what I need to say. What do you have to say about that? So anyway,
Stood this line of thinking. Oh, it's racist because if you told a bunch of black people that in real life, they would beat the crap out of you.
yes,
But even then,
they would. It's like, my thing is this. And he's trying to make it seem like that he knows black people. I would love for him to say some stuff like that. Please, just a robot. It's like if he were to say some stuff like that, I'm like, I think that alone would be like, bro, what? I'm like, there is nothing on you that is black, okay? Like, no, bro. I'm like, your ideas, your thought process, yeah, it might be a little dark, but that don't count. My thing is this: just a robot, and this goes out to any of his fans. I guess maybe I feel like even his fans that are black, they don't even know black people. I'm like, if you're a fan of just a robot, and I'm like, I question your blackness. But anyways, you do not know black people more than I do. I'm like, I know that black people, yes, if you go out to a hood area, Harlem, Compton, Atlanta, some areas in Florida, I feel like any like primary, like where area where it's just primarily just black people and stuff, down south, east coast, west coast, I'm like, ain't literally anywhere, bro, where there's even there be areas where it's all like, okay, I'm trying to think of some Montana, if there's some black people out there. I'm trying to think of some Wyoming. I'm trying to think of some other places. Dang, I can't think of no other places and stuff where it's like, there ain't really a whole lot of black people and stuff. But I'm Ireland, I guess. I don't know. But I feel like that, yeah, idiot everywhere. If you call a black person a racist name, they gonna swing on you. So yeah, there might be some black people that are calm, cool, and collected, and they ain't gonna swing on you, and they gonna just be like, yeah, this dude crazy, But yeah, my thing is this: go up to a bunch of Crips and Bloods, call them a monkey, and then try to explain, oh, well, I have black friends and I call them black. Before you even get a chance to say that, you already on the ground. I'm like, before you even get a chance to finish your sentence, you're on the ground, waking up. Probably, how long does it usually take a person to wake up from a knockout punch? Probably like what, like minute, 2-3 minutes maybe tops. But yeah, then it's like you can probably feel yourself getting robbed too, like your pants pockets being fooled around with. And then yeah, you just gonna look up, shoes gone, pants probably gonna be gone, everything gone. You're gonna have to leave out of the hood with just in your drawers. So yeah, it's one. But I'm like, no, my thing is this though: the way that they make it seem like that it's not racist, I'm like, okay, prove me wrong. That's something that I've always said. If my thing is this: if black people ain't gonna attack you, then what do you have to be afraid of? Just prove me wrong. Prove me wrong that you could go to the hood and call black people the N-word, a monkey, any racist derogatory name whatsoever. Try to explain it to them that it's not racist. Please do so. Or oh, because I have black, or I don't mean it in a racist way. Just explain it however you want to explain it. However you want to explain it. You ain't even gotta go based on what I'm saying. Just explain it however you want to explain it. Please do so. And my thing is this: I want to see an actual like video of you doing it. I don't want you like, oh yeah, I went to the hood and I went up to this guy, he told me he was a former blood and I called him a monkey and he laughed about it. Yeah, I'm like, what hood did you go to? Bel Air? You went up to Carlton and called them? I'm like, yeah, even Carlton probably would have swung on you. So yeah, that's why I'm like, yeah, come on. It's like, if my thing is this: if y'all ain't gonna do that, then don't try to talk to me about what is racist and what's not racist. I'm like, trust me, you guys probably ain't had not one racist experience in your whole life, and you're trying to tell me how racism is. And I'm like, fam, there's like multiple videos I done posted on this channel where I in detailed racist experience while I was in school, while I was out of school, from the internet. I'm saying, yeah, come on now. But anyways,
then black people are, well, people. Some will react violently and some will not.
If you're white, you say the N-word, E-R-A, whatever it ends in. You go up to another, if you're white and you go up to a black person and say the N-word, regardless of how it ends, how do you think they're gonna feel about that?
So it's only racist when white people do it. If an Asian or a Latino did it, it wouldn't be racist.
That's the thing, though. You're not Asian or Latino. You are white. You are a white-skinned man. Okay, so it's like you're trying again, pointing fingers, and I'm like, bro, my thing is this. I'm like, and the thing is this. Like, I've dealt with my fair share of racism. Not from like a whole Latino community, but yeah, it was this Hispanic girl that I went to school with, where I talked on that situation, but yeah, she said some racist things, and I'm like, huh, weird and racist, but I moved on with my life, and this one, I'm trying to think, with Asian people, I haven't really experienced too much racism from Asian people, and that's the thing, I'm not saying that everybody is, I'm just saying your community is. I'm like, yeah, so I'm like, as far as the white community, yeah, there's white people I done met where they have respect for me, they have respect for who I am, for what I represent, Can you say that same exact thing? No, you cannot, because my thing is this. You asked your roommate if you could say the N-word in some Discord call. That's something where I'm like, the friends that actually, the white friends, white, Latino, Asian, the friends that do have respect for me, that's never been a conversation. That's never been like, oh, it's all like, hey, Tyler, can I say the N-word? Can you give me a pass? That's never been the conversation. If anything, I'm asking them, like, it's like, how does that, how would you go about that? Like, what would you do if somebody did approach you, saying like, oh, you got, like, free grounds to say it is. I just feel like the friends that I have, they're like, no, I have no reason to say it. And I'm like, you passed the test. I'm like, you're a good friend. I'm like, I trust you. So yeah, it's like, but just a robot. It's like you're trying to find a reason to validate your racism. It's like there ain't no validation for it. It's racism. So it's like you can't, oh, because I say that it's okay, it makes it okay. It's not okay. So anyways.
Gotcha. Also, how do I think a black guy would react to it? I think it depends on the black guy, to be honest.
This community, they might not know that they're racist, but they're racist.
I'm sorry. I just can't get over the way he talks.
Just a robot. What was
I'm like, but it wasn't you trying to, I just called you and your community racist. Ain't no defending it or nothing. So that's why I'm like, but yeah, I just, with all the evidence and all the different stuff that I've gathered up and things, that's why I'm all like, but no, the funny thing is that there was the one guy that I did call out on Twitter for being racist when he made that comment where he was all like, he didn't care about Breonna Taylor's situation. He follows you. He ain't never say he was a Minnesota boy fan. He doesn't even look like he's a Minnesota boy fan. I remember going to that guy's profile, seeing he didn't look like no Minnesota boy fan. And if he told me that he was, I'm like, okay, you're lying, because I know that you're not. I know you did not find me through no Minnesota. Because no, the funny thing is that Minnesota boy, he deleted a lot of the videos that, if not, I think he deleted all the videos that he made on me. He deleted all the videos. He had videos and live streams about me. He might have some. I don't know, but from what I've seen, I think I remember last time I went and checked, it was some time ago where I checked this channel. But yeah, I don't think he has any, because I had to say he was doing more live streams than videos on me. But yeah, he don't have those. I don't think, at least like I said, last time I checked, I don't think he has those live streams up anymore. But yeah, overall, that stuff was like done and over with years ago. I didn't find out about this guy, the racist Twitter guy, until like years after Minnesota Boy's situation. So that's I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure Minnesota Boy, he'll probably be all like, yeah, I don't recognize that guy either. It's like, yeah, you can play that game. Oh, I don't recognize nobody in them comments or any of that stuff. But it's like, how am I supposed to believe you on that? I'm supposed to just take your word for it. And I'm like, oh, just like how on all the other situations where people are supposed to take your word for stuff. And look how that turned out. So that's why I'm like, man, just a robot. Like, man, it's just you really got to work on your people skills. That's just one thing I feel like that he needs to do and focus on. But anyways,
what's he doing 3 years ago? What videos was he making 3 years ago? This man was doing the same thing, grade A, under A, and I hate everything what he does. But he could have changed it.
Okay, so TMossBoss has said this about me a few times. He loves to compare me to grade A, under A, and I hate everything, often saying I'm just like them. But why does
I will have to go back and watch the videos. I don't know. I wouldn't put him on the same. At least I would say with grade A, under A, I would have to say that's probably more of a comparison. But with I hate everything's, I think if anything's, I was comparing the videos that and I think it was just more so just that one video that I hate everything's had did where he talked on how he hate reaction videos. So I don't know, maybe I could have worded myself a little bit better, but I would have to say comparing yourself to them too, I would have to say at least with them, they're willing to let things go. You know, they haven't gotten themselves, I don't know about grade A, under A, I hate everything's though. Yeah, we all know the business with him. It's like his channel is just talking on like stuff that he hates. Does he actually hate it? I don't think that he does. I mean, if he does, he does. If he doesn't, he doesn't. But yeah, I would have to say that there's the difference between, if I can correct myself now, I'm like the difference between them two and yourself, they can let stuff go. You don't see I hate everything's making a video talking about reaction videos now, or grade A, under A still getting into his drama with Tyrone Magnus years later. So, but you on the other hand, that's like, what was the last video you was working on that you was talking about in Lyle Convoy's video? And I'm like, it had to do with me. So yeah, it's like, man, come on now, be real. But anyways.
Does he compare me to them? Well, the answer is simple. Because we all talked about reaction channels. And possibly because we also all use avatars. But that's where the similarities between us ends. I Hate Everything is mostly well known for talking about a website and why he doesn't like it. Grade A Under A is mostly well known for doing comedy skits. And I'm way more political than the other two. And I also do power scaling videos. As far as I know, I Hate Everything and Grade A Under A never have done power scaling videos. But you take a look at TMossBoss and pretty much every reactor I have talked about, they all use the same arguments, they all make the same type of video, they all use the same amount of editing. If I'm similar to Grade A Under A and I Hate Everything, then TMossBoss, you're exactly like Blasphemous HD and Jinx.
And even back then,
How's that a bad thing? You just compared me to two YouTubers at their in their prime. Yeah, they were pretty decent content creators. Jinx, he don't do reaction videos no more. Blasphemous HD, I think he still does. I think yeah, it was like last time I remember seeing Jinx, he was streaming on TikTok. I remember I was just scrolling through my For You page and his stream had popped up and I was like, oh wow. I'm like, Jinx, I'm like, dang, it's been a fat minute since I seen him. I couldn't really recognize him because he had like a lot of gray hair and stuff, but yeah, I was like, dang, bro. I was like, man, that was like, it's been a minute, you know. But that's the thing though, I would have to say between I guess like us and then them, like just a robot, Grade A Under A. Well, okay, so let me just kind of I guess like clarify that comparison. Grade A Under A and I Hate Everything's, I feel like when they did, well, Grade A Under A, yeah, he more so was just doing the videos where he was getting into it with Tyrone Magnus. That's how I remember how I found out about Grade A Under A. And then with I Hate Everything's, I think that was just his thing. Like, I don't know if it was just people that were reaching out to him about like, hey, can you do a video talking on this? And I feel like it takes true talent to collect like I guess information about something, and you have to do a full-scale video of why you hate it. So I would say that with I Hate Everything's, he's a really, I don't know if I should call him a actor, but I would have to say he does, like, comparing him to you, yeah, he does far more better videos, because his videos are entertaining. Even I had said that when he did his I Hate reaction videos, that video, I was like, it was a good video. I couldn't hate on it. I couldn't say anything negative about it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good video. I thought it was a good take on reaction videos. Is it going to change my mind about reaction videos? No, because I'm still going to be entertained by them. I'm still going to watch them. I'm still going to do them. So with Grade A Under A, he had his issues. So I have to say, if anybody, yeah, you have more of a comparison with him, but just in that time frame of when you guys was like actively making videos. But then I guess like as a person, yeah, you're a far more worse person than Grade A Under A. I'm like, yeah, he seems like the type of person to let things go. Yeah, he might have some tension still with Tyrone Magnus, but he doesn't display it in all his videos and stuff. So, or at least like he ain't talking about it years later and things. But anyways, and then like comparing us three, Jinx, Blasphemous HD, and myself, we're not doing videos to get into it with people. We're doing videos just to simply entertain a crowd. What's wrong with that? My thing is this: what videos have you seen in the trending section more? A commentary video or a reaction video? You see where YouTube, the people behind the platform, where they promoted Tyrone Magnus. I think it was it last year or a couple of years ago? It might have been a couple of years ago, but I remember they did this this Black History Month video. I think it was on Twitter, and it should still be up. I don't know why they would take that video down, but like one of the first YouTubers that they showed in the video was Tyrone Magnus. My thing is this: do you think that like let's say YouTube was all like, oh, here's some of the greatest creators of this decade? Do you think you would end up in that compilation? Just a robot, or even talking on Grade A Under A and I Hate Everything's, like maybe I Hate Everything's, but Grade A Under A and just a robot. Do you guys honestly think that your videos with maybe Grade A Under A, because he's a much more bigger content creator, and I feel like that with the right thing that he wants to that he talks on, yeah, he could definitely end up in the trending section, or people could get to talking about his videos. You, on the other hand, I don't see that for you. That's something where I'm like, I think people know the type of content creator that you are, and having that being like the representation of YouTube, that's like trying to have, I'm trying to think, Jeffrey Dahmer being the representation of a barbecue place. It's like, that's not a good representation. I'm like, it would be a horrible representation. So yeah, it's just one of those things where I'm like, I just know that if I'm the person behind YouTube, I would definitely trust the people that are stealing content and all this other stuff before I trust you. Because I'm like, look at my thing is this with all of these guys. I have yet to see Jinx get canceled for anything. I have yet to see Tyrone Magnus get canceled for anything. Blasphemous HD and Rashad the Reactor, I had to say those were the two people I didn't really follow as much. I had to say between the two, I would say that I followed Blasphemous HD a little bit more. But I haven't seen them guys get canceled for nothing. But you see it a lot with people in the same field, like people in your community. You got canceled for defending a pedophile. Your editor got canceled for being a pedophile. I'm pretty sure that there's other fans of yours that got canceled for doing some old weird and outlandish stuff. So it's like, what, honestly, when you sit down and think about it, who would you want as like the front runners of your guys' platform? Creators that haven't got canceled for anything, or creators that did get canceled for something? I'm like, yeah, it's like, yeah, if you guys want to sit around and be the next Kanye West or just somebody that's just, oh, that's all that they gonna be known for is just canceling people. And yeah, maybe at one point in time you guys was okay content creators, but now can you guys say that about yourself? Yeah, let's see you still have that same type of love that you had when you were reaching beyond 200,000 subscribers, because that's gone, bro. So anyways,
I remember they were trying to bring that up with me, that only black people do reaction videos, and at the time, it's like over the 3 years I've seen so many different white people do reaction videos, and I told them that,
like, white people and other races. I didn't seen where Hispanic people have done reaction videos. I'm pretty sure if you look in any country whatsoever, it's like there's somebody within that country, from people in India, from people in Africa, people in, I'm trying to think of some other areas, China, Japan. Well, no, I can't use him as an example, but I think he has had Japanese people on his videos before. But the one guy, Akasan, and how I think he's done had people on his channel before, and they've sat down and done reaction video. I'll have to check again, but yeah, it's like that was just at that time. Just overall, like throughout the years, it's like, fam, I didn't see like just about almost every race do a reaction video and stuff. So, but yeah, at the time being, it was just, popular to call out black people that were doing reaction videos. But anyways.
Okay, TMossBoss doesn't show any examples of this, and he has lied about what people have said to him multiple times before, so I highly doubt anyone has told him.
Why would I have to lie? Like, it's, man, I just, it's funny how he says that in his videos. I'm like, I have no reason to lie. The thing is this, it's like, so like, let's say for an example, if Chud Logic had contacted me and he wanted to interview me on stuff and he wanted to bring things up, I don't think he would call me out on any lies. At least I don't think he would. But I'm trying to think, like, everything that I've ever said about you, about your fans, I said that stuff years ago. I still say the same things years later. Like, that's one thing that people always say about me when I talk about you, is that the situation, like what I talk on, it's never changed. Like, I've never been like, oh, just a robot, he he's known for being racist, to, oh, just a robot flat out called me the N-word. I feel like, yeah, that would be a lie, but I'm like, he probably has behind closed doors and stuff. But as far as like me actually seeing it, I'm like, okay, that's another thing too. They always say that you don't provide any proof, you don't provide any evidence. And I'm like, fam, you literally do the same thing. No, you'll have evidence right there in front of you. You don't even look through it. So that's why I'm like, yeah, it's like you the fun one to talking about evidence and proof and all that stuff. Here it is. You had it right there in front of you. You skimmed past all that stuff and you started the video saying, hey guys, Cinnabera is innocent. Don't believe the hype. Don't believe all the stuff that's going on surrounding her and stuff. And it's like, oh, bro, please, make it make sense. But anyway,
and that only black people do reaction videos. And by the off chance they have, they were probably just making a joke. But TMossBoss,
he always says that, like, oh, it's just, oh, if they did say it, they were probably just joking around. If they did, then it's a horrible. I can see that they got their sense of humor from you. It's like y'all don't know how to joke around. But anyways,
actors are black. Blasphemous HD, Jinx, Tyrone Magnus, CJ So Cool, and so many others. Yes, there are some popular white reactors, like H3H3 and the Fine Bros. But they're the exception, not the rule.
Prove me wrong that you guys aren't racist. Prove me wrong. Because as I see it, if you guys are going to dislike this video, dislike the other video, and dislike the video after that.
God, the ego on this guy. If you want to prove you're not racist, stop disliking my videos. Forget about all the other black guys who get dislikes on their videos. It's only about my videos getting dislikes. TMossBoss, people don't dislike.
My thing is this: I'm not worried about other people's videos. I'm like, if they're getting dislikes, they have a voice, they can speak for themselves. What reason would I have? My thing is this: the very few times where I have talked on that is because I seen that it was unnecessary. If a person, that's the thing, you can't stop a video from getting dislikes. But a video just randomly just getting like dislike raids, having it where as soon as I upload the video, it's just getting rated with dislikes. Yeah, that's what I'm talking on. I ain't seeing that with other creators. So it's like I have to say the one and only time I did see that was with Jinx in that Jack's Film situation where he was uploading videos and it was just randomly just getting disliked. And I'm like, bro, for what reason? Like, there ain't nothing wrong with the video and stuff. So I'm talking on myself. If somebody got their own issues and problems, that's on them. They ain't got nothing to do with the ego. It's me paying attention to my channel. Like, and that's something too where it's like, I don't pay attention. If that has happened to other people, I'm like, I'm not going to know. I'm like, the one person that I think I did was, it was one of my own fans. It was this guy named Nate, friend of mine's, where he said that he was doing videos defending me, and his videos was getting rated with dislikes. So yeah, if I can't take the time, I'm like, so what was up with that? He's just sitting down taking the time to defend me, and he's wrong for that. So that's why I'm like, yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, you try your hardest to make it seem like that is your word over everybody else's. And I'm like, that's the one thing I think that's never been told to Just a Robot throughout his life. I'm like, him as Just a Robot and him as Luke, that people are going to have their opinion. They're not going to always agree with you. They're not going to always stand by your side on something. There's going to be people. So my question is like, so let's say a fan of yours or even a friend of yours, they're saying like, yeah, let's say it's like a childhood friend of yours. This is somebody you grew up with. Like, you spent the night over at their house. They spent the night over at your house. Like, you've invited them to your wedding. You plan on naming your firstborn child after them and all that stuff. But let's just say that they are like wanting to get into reaction videos, or they like reaction videos. It's like, are you going to get on them about that? And I feel like that's what he wants. He wants to try his hardest. And I'm like, I'm telling you, I cannot stand people like that where they try everything in their power to be right on an argument. And I'm like, fam, at times conversations don't require an argument. If it's a conversation, it needs to be left as a conversation. It doesn't need to be transferred into an argument. But I feel like that with Just a Robot. That's why I'm like, to whoever his girlfriend is, I'm like, I will honestly reconsider, spending the rest of your life with this guy. Like, if I could sit down and talk to his girlfriend, I'm like, if anybody knows who his girlfriend is, please send her this video. Or even if she's sitting down, taking the time to watch these videos that I'm making on him. I'm like, if you're sitting down watching these videos on him, this is your sign. Get out of the relationship. Just a Robot is not the man for you. I don't know who it would be, but it's like, I think it would be best if you do a little bit of searching around and you find somebody that's actually going to listen to you, actually going to be by your side. I'm saying, it's like, yeah, I understand that this video was before you guys had met or whenever, I don't know, but I'm like, my thing is this. Unless you sat down and you had a conversation with him about him changing, and if my thing is this, you sat down, you did have a conversation with him about this Cinnamon stuff and how that turned out. He still uploaded the video, or he panicked upload the video anyways. So that's why I'm like, he ain't listening to you. My thing is this. I've seen that one too many times in relationships and have heard stories where people like him don't care about you. He's going to go out, he's going to do whatever, and you're going to find yourself in a situation where you're going to, you know what, and just to end it off on this, the stuff that I got to say, it would be best to leave the relationship now than later, because it'll be a situation where you are going to end up getting hurt. I'm like, that's one thing for sure. You're going to end up getting hurt. It's going to be like just very damaging to you. So that's, I'm like, yeah, I'm like, it's just crazy to me where it's like, I care more about Just a Robot's girlfriend's feelings than he does. Cause I'm like, that's something where it's like, I don't even think he didn't even do that. Did you sit down? Did you talk with her and ask her, how does she overall feel about this situation? You're so worried about yourself and what's happening to you with this Cinnamon stuff. But have you sat down and asked her, how is she handling all of this? How has she handled that her boyfriend didn't listen to a word that she said and just went out and did something anyways? anyways, I think I've said this before and I'm saying it again. I guarantee and I promise you, she probably has a throwaway account on Reddit, and she's just posting about Just a Robot. She's all like, oh, he does this, he does that, he don't listen to me. And I'm like, man, I'm like, if there's anybody to feel sorry for in this whole situation, it's the girlfriend, bro. I'm like, man, she's somebody where I'm like, bro, if I knew who she was, I definitely would try to get in contact with her, talk to her logically, actually sit down, have a conversation with her, and let her know. I'm like, fam, you are so much like you don't need this. You don't need this relationship. I'm like, you trust me, you are way more important than being being known as just a robot's girlfriend. I'm like, you could actually do something with your life. You could do something important with your life rather than being by his side. I'm not saying you gotta be by my side. I could care less what you do with your life, but overall, don't let this be who you're known for. It's just a robot's girlfriend that then said 2-3 words in a video before. So that's all like, yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, yeah, you know your worth. That's all I think I was trying to say. Know your worth. Cause I'm like, just being known as just a robot's girlfriend, I'm like, yeah, that's that type of stuff. It make me become a whole villain if I was you. I'm like, nah. Like there is gonna be a day though, I feel like that is gonna happen. She's just gonna look in the mirror and gonna be like, what did I do? Like if it ain't just a robot, I'm like, it just talking to just a robot. I'm like, break up with that girl. She don't deserve that. She don't deserve that at all. She does not deserve to be by your side. She deserves a lot more better things in this world. But anyways,
like your videos because you're black. They dislike it because you're an idiot.
Do everything possible, all right, to still be associated with the
at least I ain't never defended no pedophile.
name TMossBoss. You guys are racist.
TMossBoss, that's not racism. Stop claiming it is.
Because
sorry, y'all. Okay, I guess I don't know nothing about racism anymore. I'm like, yeah, my experiences. The old lady up the street from my house calling me the N-word because I was just getting ready to pet a dog. What else? Being racially profiled in stores. The numerous racist comments that I've gotten. Oh yeah, I don't know absolutely nothing about racism. I don't know the patterns. I don't know the signs. I don't know. He knows more about racism than I do because he read the definition of it on one of them dictionary websites. I actually experienced it. So that's one thing that you're not going to do is that you're not going to explain to me what racism is and what it's not. I'm like, fam, come on now. It's like, my thing is this. How many racist interactions have you experienced versus me? And don't try to make up no stuff. Actually tell the truth. That's what I'm saying. I would really love to do a lie detector test video with just a robot. Because I just know that video, it's one of those things where I'm like, people, that would be the one video that I think a lot of people would be interested in seeing that and stuff. I'm like, you even could dress up as a whole robot and all that stuff. And I'm like, I won't question it or anything. But I'm like, fam, no, let's try to go somewhere and do a lie detector test video. I would love for that video to get published on the internet because I just know that it would be one of those situations where I would ask you some questions to now where they're gonna be looking at you like, wait a minute, like they're gonna be looking at you differently. So
it could have been me, it could have been anybody else, but because I am black, then it's a problem.
Now, TMossBoss has said I played the victim card on a few occasions. He doesn't explain how I play the victim card, he just says I do. But this right...
That's the thing. So the reason why I know people will probably ask that question, it's like, how come I never really explain anything? Because I knew, I had to say, it started hitting me at this time that I knew that I was talking about I was more so talking to Just the Robots fans. So I'm like, you guys haven't seen everything. It's like, my thing is this. I guess if somebody on the outside looking in, and my thing is this, they could just easily just do the research and just look it up themselves. I'm like, it's one of those things where I'm all like, okay, if I'm gonna bring it up, then it's like, obviously it happened. I ain't got no reason to lie. I ain't got no reason. So it's like the stuff is right then and there. But my thing with that night in December, what did you do after me and you had that conversation in December 2016? What did you do? I made a video calling you out on your behavior. What did you do after that? You played victim. It is something where it's like I shouldn't have to explain to. I'm like, the evidence is right there. If you check that last video that I reacted to on his other channel, the channel with the less subscribers, it's like it's also titled Just a Robot. But if you go to that channel and that thing is like TMossBoss doesn't understand Just a Robot, That's the video you played victim. You literally start that video off showing the what, fourth or fifth comment that you had left underneath my channel. You didn't show the first comment where you was like, oh, I'm insulting this guy, I'm insulting his channel, I'm insulting who he is. You didn't show those comments. You made it seem like the first comment that you ever left on that channel was that, oh, I just want to offer some help and advice and things. That's all. I'm like, yeah, and I'm the liar. We got to do that lie detector test video. Like, man, I'm telling you, you know what, we got to do that lie detector. We got to go to a police department because I don't trust just a robot in no environment where there ain't no law or authority and things. So we definitely got to go. Let's go to a police department, see if we could rent out like an interrogation room or something, do a lie detector test, have a police just escort us to our, like, you know, rightful areas and things afterwards. But yeah, I'm like, it's one of those things where I'm like, man, I would love to do a lie detector test video with just a robot.
Here is a perfect example of how someone plays the victim card. People are only hating on me because of the color of my skin. TMossBoss.
Is what I've experienced. Yeah, he, you know, just a robot. That's funny. I find that really funny. That it's like he's trying to explain to me my experience with being a person of color on the internet. It's not. That's the thing where it's like, I wouldn't look at I guess, like, yeah, some people would classify me as a victim, but I'm like, I laugh at that stuff. I've said it numerous times. I'm like, yeah, I'll bring it up for the sake of a video, just, I guess, and more so now, I guess, yeah, back then I was doing it, just to, you know, just we're more so talking to just the robots fans. But now it's like, yeah, people leave racist comments. I'm like, bro, okay, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. But it's just one of those things where I'm like, you know, I don't know. I don't care now, I guess. But yeah, at the time being, like I said, I'm like, you know, I'm more so talked on it to, you know, it's like, hey, it's like, you guys are trying to call me out for making reaction videos. You're literally calling me racist names. And how you guys respond is, oh, that's not us. Who else am I arguing? Who else was I arguing with at this time? In 2019, who else was I arguing with? Minnesota Boy was gone. The Thomas the Tank Engine fan base was gone. Those were pretty much the only two communities that had, like, big communities that I was going at it with. Both of them gone. Only community that I was going at it with. So who else is going to be leaving racist comments underneath my channel? That's all. Like, man, it's... Oh man, you know, it's just it's weird. But you know, the funny thing is that even after this video, then the prison mate Luke, he called you out for being racist. Then all the people that have came to me and told me that you were racist, it's like, okay, so what's their situation? Why would former fans and people that were cool with you, why would they lie? Like, why? What reason would they have to lie right now? I asked this question before, but I'm curious. I would like to know. I'm like, what reason would a former fan of yours, somebody that's more so just upset with how you treated the Cinnabar stuff, what reason would they have to lie about you? So that's why I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure there's just been fan, because I'm like, I guess, like, putting myself in your fan shoes. I used to be a fan of EDP 445. If I heard some stuff about him, I was just like hearing it. But it's, I guess, like, if there's something that I've seen of his behavior and all that, and somebody asked me like, hey, is EDP been known for being racist or something? If I've seen something racist with him, I'm like, yeah, he was racist. I feel like it's a lie if y'all like, oh no, he's never been racist throughout his whole life. But meanwhile, there are other people around the world saying like, yeah, he is racist. Like, he's been known for doing this, he's been known for doing that. Literally the conversation I'm hearing with you right now. So it's like, anybody out there say, no, just a robot's not racist. I'm like, okay, so who do you think I'm going to listen to? Just a robot and that, like, one final fan that he got left, or the people that been around just a robot literally for years, have seen what he's capable of, seen the type of person that he is, and they're all saying the same thing: he's racist. And what's crazy is always a different story. I like the latest or the last one being the Discord thing, but I'm like, before and after, I ain't seen so many different things where it's all like, yeah, people just pretty much repeating the same thing: just a robot's racist. He didn't say. I'm like, and my thing is this, right? You had a whole video, and he took that video down because he knew he was all like, yeah, I gotta beat these racism allegations, what's you know, just all over and stuff. What video did you take down that you uploaded years ago? It was that Confederate flag video. What was you talking about in that video? You were defending the Confederate flag, I guess, more so trying to explain I think from what people told me, he was trying to explain the origins of it and was all like, oh, that's what it means. But I'm like, that's not what it means now. That's what I mean by he wants people to take his word for stuff, and and it's like, bro, no, they're not. It's like, yeah, you and your fans are, but it's like the rest of the internet, the rest of the world, they're not. So anyways,
one of the most hated people on the internet is a white guy. Well, now it's a white trans girl by the name of Christina Weston Chandler. And I have talked about them before. I've talked about black people, white people, Asian, Latino, Native American, pretty much every single race under the sun. I don't hate on them for the color of their skin. I hate them for the stupid things they do. I don't care what your color is.
Oh, so he it's funny how he says that. He's never called himself a hater. What did he just overall say? So I'm like, yeah, it's my thing is this. Yeah, you might not be a racist, but you definitely it's one or the other. You're either a racist or you're either a hater. But he even said that in the one video, I think wasn't that the video he was talking to Cinnabare, and he was all like, I'm more sexist than racist. So it's like there is some sort, and then the funny thing is, it's like, yeah, you ain't gonna go to your job saying a bunch of different racist things to people, but did you say you got fired from numerous jobs because you done made some weird sexual comment towards somebody? I'm like, what's the one thing that you keep saying to everybody where that you start a conversation? I guess somebody that you see yourself being cool with. What do you always usually say at some point in time? You say something referring to them seeing your genitalia. So it's like, my thing is this: you're just overall a weird individual, but there is some line of racism that's there. So that's why I'm all like, yeah, you can try to defend yourself all you want. You ain't got me convinced. So, anyways,
just don't be an idiot.
If you guys, like, if you aren't racist, prove me wrong, okay? Stop coming back to my channel every single day claiming that you're criticizing my videos, claiming that dislikes are helping, claiming your comments are helping. Quit doing that stuff.
Leave me alone!
You guys are racist, and if you don't want to be racist, do what I say, okay? Yeah, we've never heard anything like this before. TMossBoss.
It's funny how he incriminates himself. This ain't no different than when a rapper, when it's like they don't say that, oh, I killed this individual, but they'll be like, oh, we went to this street knowing that that's the street that individual lived on, and they was all like, oh, and we dumped rounds, or we turned it into an ocean and stuff. It's really funny how it's like they, yeah, you listen and pay attention. It's like I said before, with just a robot, you really have to read between the lines on the stuff that he says, because he'll say things that'll incriminate himself. We ain't racist, but I go after black people. Oh my, I just, man, just a robot. A part of me wishes that I reacted to these videos sooner, but at the same time, I'm like, man, it's hard to watch these videos, because it's like, you have to remember that this is a grown man. Like, this ain't no kid. This ain't no, like, this is a grown man talking like he is in the state of mind of a child. I just, man, it's one of those things, right? Because I know somebody was all like, you should do more of these reactions, and I'm like, it's hard to watch them, because he says some dumb things, and I'm like, bro, dude, like, who homeschooled you? Like, honestly, that's what I would like to know. Like, was it a tutor? Was it like a teacher, like an actual, like, certified teacher? Or was it just somebody like that one dude in the benchwarmers that they just had a folded up piece of paper that just said, I am teacher? And I'm like, man, I really, you gotta question just the robot's upbringing, because it's a difficult upbringing. Like, if I'd seen that the mother of my child was raising my kid to be in the likings of just a robot, I'm taking my kid and I'm running to Cuba. We're staying next door to Tupac. I'm like, no, I can't watch my kid grow up like that. I can't watch my kid grow up just, learning how to be a disrespectful person. And I imagine just a robot, it's either one, or if not both his parents, where, yeah, he's pretty much either he's one of them or a combination of them. And now the internet, they got to suffer behind it and stuff. So
Guilt tripping people with the race card is so 2013.
You guys just, some of them, like, most...
So it's like, he's trying to, like, make it seem like it's a fascist. They be like, oh, it's so 2013. It's, oh my God. I'm like, man, just a robot. Please don't have kids. That's one thing for sure. Please do not have kids, because if he does, It's either gonna be just a robot or it's gonna be his kids. They're gonna go down for a murder. 100% they're gonna go down for a murder. It's gonna be one of those situations where I'm probably gonna have like some movie production company and stuff still doing like things here and there if like YouTube is still a thing during that time frame. But yeah, I'm gonna be like much more older, probably just like writing down some stuff. I'm like, okay, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do, and they were like, hey, there's like, remember that guy you used to get into it with back in the day, just a robot? Yeah, I guess his kid went and killed like about 500 people or something like that. They're like, yeah, it's been like all blown up all over the news and stuff. I'm like, yeah, it's just, I called it. I called it in the video. I'm like, go back and watch the reaction to the last video on TMossBoss. I'm like, I called that stuff. I'm like, I'm not surprised. It don't surprise me. So
Hypocritical, manipulative things that you guys do. It's just, it's funny.
TMossBoss, you're the most hypocritical person on the planet. And you call others manipulative right after you try to manipulate them with the race card? My god, look in a mirror.
So my thing is this: when has there ever been a time? The way he makes it seem is that I'm like turning around and I'm doing the same thing, like I'm leaving racist comments and disliking your videos and all that stuff. I was defending myself. There's a difference. There's a difference between attack and defense. I shouldn't have to explain that to a grown man. I shouldn't have to, but that's the funny thing is these videos was uploaded years ago. I guarantee and I promise you it's still just a robot's thought process. He ain't changed. My thing is this: prove to me that you changed. You know, I gotta remember that these are like old videos, but at the same time, it's like this ain't no different. The only difference I have to say with this video and his like the last that response with receipts video is that he didn't have no help with that video, but he had somebody helping him out. So it's like, yeah, it's just you know, it's like he's all chipper and happy in these videos, but he's depressed and sad because it's like, yeah, he has to like pretty much repeat himself in a way but change it up for the situation that he's a part of and stuff. So yeah, it's like just, but no, it's like really just sit down and pay. This video ain't no different than that response with receipts videos. So it's like, yeah, he said what he needs to say in the beginning, but now it's just like all this unnecessary part where it's like, bro, like what, it's just one of those things where it's like, you know, you gotta ask like, what are you talking, like, you know what he's talking about, but still it's like you gotta ask that question because it's like, do you even know what you're talking about? Like, honestly, without people helping you out, the funny thing is, I would really love, without any form of help whatsoever, I would really love to see him redo all these videos on me all over again. Oh, it's one of those things where I'm like, I just know it would be, but you have to say something different. You gotta say something unique where it's like, okay, like, you know, I can, there could be like a newer reason to talk about TMossBoss. But I'm just saying, it's like, I guess like maybe with that video of me calling him a pedophile, I just feel like he still would have just been saying it. Like he would have talked on it, for like what, 5 minutes, and then he would have just turned around and just been like talking on like our history and stuff. And it's like, bro, don't nobody care about that. I'm like, talk on something that's like worth, like that's interesting and stuff. But anyways,
And this is what I have to say. I'm just gonna just prove this whole thing. All right, this video gets dislikes. That I have nothing to hear from you guys. Nothing at all. If this video has more dislikes than likes, I have nothing to hear from you guys. And that's from this video, the next video, and any other video.
TMossBoss, everyone gets dislikes. Literally everyone on YouTube. And that's your proof for people.
And he's trying to like justify it. My thing is this: not everybody goes and they upload a video and they just get rated with 70 something dislikes, or they upload a video and it gets more dislikes than likes. Unless, my thing is this: unless they done did something to somebody, that'll be the only reason. I didn't even do nothing to you. I didn't even want to be bothered with you. You got offended by that, and then you just had it where your fans just was disliking my videos left and right. It's one of those things where I'm like, man, you know, and that's the thing. I didn't know whether it was like a pro, because I remember like when people, they were blowing up these programs. Like, I've been a content creator for 15 years, so I've seen where like a lot of different things have trended and all this stuff. But I remember at one point in time, like there was a like it was like a program or like some sort of bot system where it would get you views, likes, and I even seen there were some out there where you could get dislikes too. And so I didn't know whether it was that. I didn't know whether it was just his fans creating numerous accounts. But it's like, don't nobody just upload videos and they just get dislikes just because. I'm like, that's one thing for sure. And it's like, and if they do, then it's like, yeah, then they got haters and stuff. Or it's just, yeah, somebody out there that just got it out for them and things. It's like, I didn't even do nothing to you. Like, what are you hating on the video for? But yeah, it's like people don't just upload videos and they just get rated with dislikes for no reason and stuff. But it's like, but I had to say, I guess my reason for getting the dislikes will be because I offended you. And I'm like, you shouldn't, if you get that offended because of some internet stuff, that you shouldn't be a content creator. I'm just saying, it's like, don't know, the times before where I've talked on my opinion on stuff, whether it's a movie, a video game, a TV show, a musician, whatever. If people disagree with me, people disagree with me. I'm like, that's something where I'm like, I'm not trying to, when I do a video talking on something, I'm not trying to change a person's perspective. So like, for an example, there's this one game that I've been heavily critical on, X4 Foundations. I'm not trying to stop people from playing the game. I'm just trying to warn people, hey, this is an overly challenging, over-the-top video game. If you wanted just something that's a little bit more casual, play that. But X4 Foundation is meant for somebody that got, like, experience in NASA or something. So, yeah, but if you're just playing this game, I guess, to, like, you want to have fun, that's not gonna be this game. You gonna be playing more of the tutorial than actual game itself and things, unless you probably done played all the X games and stuff. But that's the thing though, where I'm like, I'm not going after people because they're upset over, or like I'm upset over the fact that they don't agree with me. I could care less if a person doesn't agree with me on something. But you, on the other hand, can you say that same exact thing? It's like, can you, my thing, the funny thing is that let's see who's more of a forgiving person, me or him. I had somebody that says something to me, and that, no, the funny thing was that, so remember I was telling you about the person, the Hispanic person that said some racist stuff to me. I was like, I didn't forgive them. And matter of fact, I remember me and them had a conversation back, it was like 2020, and we talked for a little bit, but then it's like, yeah, it's just one of those situations where I was like, because we were cool at one point in time, but yeah, it's just one of those situations where it's like we grew apart, we went our separate ways, but I'm like, I don't have no ill feelings towards them. Like, they can reach out and want to just talk to me about random stuff, and I'm like, hey, cool, you know, it's all like, what's up, like, what you want to talk about and stuff. But I guess, like, for me, I don't hold grudges. I have no reason to hold grudges. I'm not living my life in a holding grudge manner and stuff. I'm just living life. And yeah, I'm like, that's as, the most that I can do. But it's like sitting around holding grudges, being upset with people and stuff. I just ain't got that in me. I ain't got that type of time. I could be do something a little bit more productive with my life. But anyway,
people being racist against you, if this video gets dislikes or the next videos get dislikes, this won't prove anything. And you'll keep talking about this situation, and you know it.
All right. But yeah.
And then that very next year, so I can't remember how many videos I did talking about this in 2019, but I do remember I think it was late 2019. It was either late 2019 or early 2020. I had told myself, I'm like, okay, like from this day forward, like, no, it's we're New Year's resolution. I'm like, I'm focused on myself. I'm like, I don't care if I gotta be late to work or lose hour of sleep and things, but I'm like, I'm going to focus on myself when it comes down to content creating. 2020, I did that. 2021, 22, 23, 24, I did that. So it's like, but my question is who made a video trying to start up some stuff between the both of us? Anytime when I would talk on the matter, I'm like, yeah, it would just to tell people the story of what happened. But I'm like, you, on the other hand, the first of them, like, so though, when I was blowing up doing the voiceover videos last year, who talked on who first? That's what I would like to know. I'm like, who made a video on who first? So that's why I'm like, yeah, you're finding a reason to, I guess, like, try to get into it with me and things. And that's why I'm like, I think, yeah, after this, I'm like, I just gotta, to prevent that from happening and stuff, block just the robot, block his fans, delete comments, all that stuff. Just have it where it's like, yeah, if I do these videos more so, again, telling the story, reminiscing, all that stuff. But as far as like anything else, as far as like trying to like reignite the drama, not gonna get involved in that. So yeah, it's like, the thing is this, I learned my lesson from that night in December. You try coming after me again in my comment sections, comment is getting deleted, you getting blocked, I'm moving on with my life. I'm like, yeah, I might mention it for like a brief, you know what, the thing is this, again, learned my lesson. I ain't even gonna mention it. I ain't gonna talk on it. None of that stuff. I'm like, nope. I'm leaving it alone. I'm like, hey, you feel a certain way, you feel a certain way. But I'm focused on myself. So, anyways.
Yeah. You guys gonna find some argument to say in this for this video or any other video, then yeah. Then you guys proved me right in the past 3 videos.
If you guys make an argument against me and debunk me, make me look stupid, that just means I win. Got it?
I mean, come on now. They trying to say that, oh, you don't know if those comments were all Just a Robot fans. They were underneath Just a Robot videos that I made.
Really?
that bro, wow. I didn't even think of that. Dang, I'm like it don't like I'm saying anytime when I do a video, it's always like that point that's being proven, but man, I didn't even bother to think about that. Yeah, it was like, cause no, it was mainly just cause I'm saying I wasn't doing no videos on Minnesota Boy. I wasn't doing no videos on Thomas the Tank Engine. But I mean, I did kind of say it where it was like, I like the beef between them two communities had died off. But yeah, at the same time, I wasn't even making no videos about those guys. So who else? And my thing is this: the videos, the comments being left underneath Just a Robot. Why would his with those fan bases comment on those videos? I mean, come on, bro.
They were? Well, you certainly didn't prove that. You just showed the comments, not what videos they were under. And that's very easy to do. Now, he does show one video with a racist comment on it, and it's a video of his I've covered. But this is the only one he shows. This proves to me...
Okay, you seen this, and you're like, no, we gotta do a response video to defend myself. Meanwhile, there's people encouraging my death. That's something that that's a genuine question that I have for Just a Robot. If there's any question that you can answer from and that's something where I'm like, I just only want to answer for that. I'm not trying to seek out no long paragraph. But no, what would you do if one of let's just say it's just a random Wednesday afternoon, right? One of your fans, it's like a bunch of your fans is like blowing up your comments all like, hey, something happened with TMossBoss. Like, we don't know what's going on, but like I guess he's in the hospital fighting for his life. Sounds like somebody just like attacked him or something, right? And then I feel like that's when it would hit him like, okay, something don't feel like I feel like that probably would be his first time in his whole life getting a gut feeling, and it's like it's a really bad gut feeling, right? But anyways, you're looking through and you're just like, you're trying to find any information whatsoever. All of a sudden, you get another message. And it's all like, he didn't make it. I don't want to put that out in existence or jinx myself or any of that stuff. But just, for the sake of this example, it's a little dark, but I'm like no, let's just talk on this real quick. Because they didn't mind leaving this comment. So yeah, if we're going to get dark, we're going to get dark. So anyways, but yeah, then it's like somebody messaged you and they're like, he didn't make it. Like, I guess, yeah, it was, somebody had approached him. They started saying some random crazy stuff. The next thing you know, they took his life. He ain't here with us no more. His last video, everything last of that. That gut feeling is getting stronger and stronger. All of a sudden, it's like, then they catch the person that did it. They catch the person, and it's like, that's something that I don't think Just a Robot he'd be able to live with. It's like, and they'll probably be told at the very last second of the situation. But before that, he is seeing fans of mine crying their eyes out. He's seeing friends of mine crying their eyes out, because he's definitely going to be paying attention to the situation. You ain't going to just be all like, oh no, I would ignore it all. No, he's going to 100% be paying attention to the situation. But anyways, so yeah, but it's like he's seeing all these people surrounding me crying, right? And they catch the guy, and then they're all like he's like, let's say it's like it's a court hearing and all that stuff, Just a Robot, and it's like some live stream situation. Just a Robot joins the live stream, and they ask the guy why did you do it? And it's all like, oh, I watched these videos uploaded by Just a Robot that encouraged me to overall go through with the life taking, the killing of TMossBoss and stuff. I'm telling you, right, that at that point, I feel like that's when it would hit Just a Robot that he messed up. Like, that's when he would realize, and I think I've said that before, that it would have to take something serious like that in order for him to realize that he messed up. Why does it need to get to that point, though? So that's why I'm like, how'd that make you feel? Where it's like one of your fans, they're all like, no, they went through with this. They're all like, no, I'm actually going to do this. He upset Just a Robot. I'm gonna go, because it's like, that's the thing. There's probably people in this world that was thinking along the lines like, that person ain't gonna do nothing. They just saying that stuff. Next thing you know, it's like you got it where their friends and family is planning their funeral arrangements because they ain't take that type of stuff. I take things like this seriously. So that's why I'm like, if somebody approaches me on some crazy stuff, I'm like, hey, it's my life over theirs. Okay, so that's what I'm like. And if it's one of those situations where they're all like, and I just have a feeling too, he would try to run with that. It'll be, and he ain't claiming none of these fans now, but let's just say this person tried to approach me on some crazy stuff, and it's a my life over there situation. I get the upper hand, and I end up taking their life. Oh, just a robot will be running with that. He's never had a conversation with this fan, don't know this fan. He ain't even trying to claim this fan in this video. But let's say if it was a situation where I had took this fan's life because they approached me on some crazy stuff. Oh, he was like, oh, he did, like, oh, did you? I'm telling you guys, you would see some like Oscar award winning acting from Just a Robot. And he might not even be acting. He probably would really be upset over that type of stuff. But I'm like, this person just tried to take my life. Are you not realizing that? So yeah, it's that's the thing where I'm like, and that's why you won't ever see me do no videos along the lines like Just a Robot, and why I wouldn't want to follow in his footsteps, take any advice from him. Because this, my thing is this: following in the footsteps of Just a Robot, it leads you into stuff like this. It leads you into leaving racist comments like, yeah, he can laugh about it, crack jokes and all that stuff, but I'm like, this happened, correct? I'm like, this is a real comment, correct? This ain't Photoshop. This ain't, no, this is an actual real comment. Why am I getting comments like this? You know, and it's just, yeah, it's situations where it's like he, you know, as much as he wants to try to deny it and all this other stuff, my thing is this, right? If you, because the way that Just a Robot, the way that he talks, he makes it seem like that the stuff that he like stuff like this, it's not important, but at the same time it's important enough for you to talk about it in the video. So obviously to some extent it's like, it's either it really affected you or you're really trying to defend yourself on the matter. And I think it's that second option. It's like he's really trying to defend himself on the matter, but it's like, if there's all of these racism allegations leading in your direction, why is there so many, even people like, erase me from the mix, there's still a big crowd of people calling you a racist. What's up with that? What's up? Here it is. I show proof. You just all like, nope, proof in one ear and out the other. It don't matter. You know, it don't matter. Oh, it's from other, the pointing finger situation. So that's why I'm like, man, you know, you could try to deny this stuff all you want, but we all know the situation with you and stuff. So that's why it's like, I'm not hearing any of this. You could defend it. It don't matter. But anyways.
That TMossBoss does know how to show what videos the comments were under. But the fact that he only shows one out of all of them really makes me suspicious.
It was a 3-minute video of multiple comments. It was like, no, it was either 3 to 5 minutes, but it was screenshots. Like, I had to go through my emails because I remember at one point in time YouTube was sending me emails of like comments, but I think it's like, I don't know, I can't remember if I had turned that settings off, or if it's like when your channel reaches a certain like, I guess, like amount of like subscribers and comments and all that stuff, like it ends up turning that stuff off at some point in time, because they're probably all like, yeah, that's too much, you know. But I'm like, fam, it was literally a like 3 to 5 minute, I have to go back and check the length of that video, but I was like, it was a lengthy video of comments from your fans. So I would really, I think I should go back and react to those videos just to see what was being said and what was being shown, especially the video with the comments, because I could have sworn I seen some comments with him and like people pretty much saying that they were a fan of his, and of course he ain't gonna show that in his video. I mean, if it was never there, then I'm like, it was never there, you know. But overall, it's one of those things where it's like, I'm not asking people to take my word on your racism. It's one of those things like, you wanted me to provide evidence. I provided evidence. You're literally arguing against the evidence. How does one do that? It's just, come on now. But anyways.
Now we're going to move on to the whole TMossBoss ignored a suicidal girl situation. I myself have not talked about this situation really. I'm a bit iffy on the whole thing myself, but
he knew of the girl. It's like, that was people. So for the longest, I didn't know who it was that pretended to be the suicidal girl, but it was actually the friend of the suicidal girl that had told me that, yeah, she faked the whole thing. And then so I asked, I was all like, because I feel like I remember at some point in time, Just a Robot had talked on it and stuff. He had to have known of her. And then that's when the friend of the suicidal girl said, where they were in the same Discord server, so they had to have known of each other. They had to have known of the like she faked that whole thing and stuff. And I'm like, man, it's just one of those things where I'm like, people were trying to run with that story and stuff. And I'm like, they didn't even get that far. It's like the girl left breadcrumbs, and it's like, it's stuff like that where I'm like, man, but like I said, people try bringing that up with me today, and I was like, okay, and I was like, the girl was even suicidal, so that's why I'm like, people. But even after that, another person came and reached out to me saying the same exact. Let's see if he talks on that. But another person had reached out to me saying the same thing, and it wasn't too long after people was posting those videos and talking about they feeling suicidal. I called them out on just, I'm trying to help them out, and they're all like, nope, that's not helping, that's not helping. So eventually I did check who they were following, and they were following, it was, I know for one it was just a robot, but I can't remember if it was mainstream media, the I Bully Bullies guy, or if it was Joshua. But I just remember they were following them too, and I'm like, what's up with that? Why are you following them too? And they was like, I don't have to answer that question. And then that's when it was like that suspicion was raised to me, where I'm like, yeah, that girl probably wasn't even suicidal, just doing that for the sake of the video, not realizing that the girl that did that. So if you guys remember me saying like I was like, I hope the girl gets her throat chewed out, or I'm like, I hope she gets kicked in the throat, something. I don't know. But anyways, I was like, I said something regarding, I think it was like the getting her throat chewed. Yeah, because getting kicked in the throat, that was for that Glenn kid. For her, I was like, I hope she gets her throat like either chewed or ripped out by a dog or something, a rabbit dog. But anyway, I don't know. Did I say rabbit? I can't remember if I said rabbit or not. But anyways, I'm like, yeah, Cujo like dog and stuff. But no, same girl. The girl, whatever her name is, same girl. So I'm all like, yeah, she didn't even realize it was her that whole time that did that stuff. But anyways, let's see what he has to say.
But TMossBoss, whenever he talks about it, he leaves out some pretty important details.
Still to this day, I don't know. And people are all like, she did tell you. Okay, then what was it? Like, that's overall, when they say that, when they're all like, oh, well, what was the problem? Or like, she did tell you what her problem was. Okay, why was she feeling suicidal? Why was she feeling that way? What caused her? What led her to feeling suicidal? Suicidal didn't lead her to feeling suicidal. Like, we probably would have still been here till this day trying to figure out what her problem is.
Well, from the screenshots I've seen myself, she says that she feels like she's a burden on her family, that her father and sister wouldn't care if she did it, and that pretty much only her mother would care. It's pretty obvious to me that she's having family problems.
I'm like, yeah, didn't see all that. No, it's all like, yeah. The thing is this. So the part that he left out was that she was just spamming my mentions, because this, yeah. So the whole thing did happen on Twitter. And she was just spamming my mentions, just saying the same thing. And it got to the point where Twitter, like, got on them for doing that. So they restricted the one account. She created another account, because I was at work when all of this was happening. So it was like, I think it was on my 10-minute break. I remember I made a tweet saying, hey, if anybody's feeling suicidal or a certain way, reach out to me and I'll do what I can to help you out and things. So anyways, and I knew these guys had me underneath some 24-hour surveillance stuff. So anyways, so then that's when I think I was like cleaning the tables outside, and or like the in this like, because the way that our cafe, we had like these tables like outside the cafe, so I'm cleaning the tables. And then I think when I had just checked my phone to just like, I think it was either just checking it, or because I know I do, I was like, I remember I would listen to music when I was cleaning the table, so I can't remember if I was just checking my phone to check it or to change the song. But I did see that I had like 20 something notifications on Twitter, so I was like, dang, what's going on? I checked, it's just the same comment over and over and over again. I'm feeling suicidal, I'm feeling suicidal, I'm feeling suicidal. And I'm like, okay, what is the problem? I'm feeling suicidal, I'm feeling suicidal. I'm like, fam, that's why when you see in the message or in these tweets where we're going back and forth, and I'm like, look, if you're not telling me what the issue is, I can't help you. So I was like, I ain't gonna have no choice but to just leave the situation alone. I'm like, there's all these other people, because it was like, I think underneath that hashtag, it was like National Suicide Prevention Day. Underneath that hashtag, it was over 100,000 people tweeting using that hashtag. So I'm pretty sure there's other people that if she was feeling suicidal, she very well could have asked somebody for help. It ain't just gonna be me and stuff. So anyways, that's what I'm like. But yeah, when you check, and then people I know, they'll say that like, oh, well, maybe she did, she didn't. I remember checking her account. It was just like I think it was either 2 or 3 accounts. It was just all just me, just tweeting out to me and stuff. So they, but yeah, like I said, I'm like, if it really was a situation, either way, it's like I knew that she was a part of that community because I'm like, oh, you skip past hundreds of thousands. It wasn't like I'm a big popular Twitter. I've had pretty much like 800 to 900 followers for like, I'm trying to think, for years now. Like I have not reached beyond over 1,000 followers on Twitter. I've always had a small Twitter account, so it wasn't like it was a bunch of different people tweeting me that day. It was only her. So but my thing is this: not even a popular account, and ain't like my, and how Twitter, I guess for those that don't know how Twitter works, when you click on a hashtag, it's gonna show you the most popular like tweets and stuff. I guess if you click on the latest tweets, but at the same time, if you click on the latest tweets, it's a bunch of tweets rolling in. Like I said, it was like over 100,000 tweets being used with that hash, or like that hashtag being used in over 100,000 tweets. So my thing is this: how is it that you manage to get through 100,000 tweets and you came across my account, and then on top of that, then it ended up being a video not too long later? So that's why I'm like, yeah, it did just even having it where your own people had told me that you was even suicidal. That's why I'm like, anytime when people bring this situation up, but yeah, even look here, where I was all like, stop playing games, I'm working. If you need to talk to me like you are now, then you would have said something. And it's like, yeah, it's just one of those things where I'm all like, just multiple tweets just saying the same thing over and over again. And I'm like, yeah, I'm like, show them 23 tweets of just them spamming the same stuff. But anyways, and I'm like, and then on top of that, I'm like, why are they censoring out the name? I'm like, nah, show, it probably was the same name, but overall, I'm like, yeah, it's I would have to go back because I think my tweets are still up, and I think along with those tweets, you can see the account that you tweeted out to. It might not be active, but you can still see the account that I was tweeting out to. But anyways,
I don't have time to be sitting here playing. Like, there's actual suicidal like people out there, so I'm giving my attention to them.
Yeah, and you can ignore them too.
And the funny thing is, it's like you ask any and everybody out there that, you know, they've gone through some stuff, who reaches out to them? Me. I'm like, that's one thing that I always try to make sure that I do. If I see a tweet that one of my friends or somebody makes, and even if it's somebody that I'm not even really cool with, I'm like, I've been times I had to leave comments underneath people's TikToks, letting them know like, hey, you know, life is hard, it will get better though. I'm like, obviously it's a little bit more set into it and things, but I do let them know. I'm like, hey, you know, it's like, give them the spiel about, you know, hey, your life ain't over, things will get better and all that stuff. You know, I try my hardest to be there for people, but for somebody to use that against me for the sake of a video, and it's a serious subject on top of that, what do you think is more darker? I'm like, me ignoring some actor pretending to be suicidal, or somebody pretending to be suicidal? You know, you really got to sit down and think about that type of stuff. But anyways, their word over mine, and it's always going to be a losing situation on mine. I'm like, that's the thing. I'm not trying to lose no argument. I'm not trying to lose no conversation, none of that stuff. I'm going to say what I need to say. If you believe it, you do. If you don't, you don't need to. I'm not going to get on you about that. So, but my thing is this: when the evidence is shown, and overall, it's like, yeah, when it's one of those situations where I'm like, you know, the truth actually comes to the light, at that point, I'm like, hey, y'all can bring this up 100 million times. Y'all know the business. So, anyways.
Now a whole video then got made about this situation, so let's just solve this right now. The account's gone. So that's where I'm like, this thing just seems way too familiar. It just seems way too familiar, alright? But yeah, like, cause in this community,
and the reason why I said that is because if I had like the times where I'm all like, you know, oh, I'm gonna screen, and that's why I just like, I'm not even going to do that anymore. I'm not gonna go and be like, oh, I'm going to let them know that I'm gonna screenshot it. I just screenshot it, but I would do that. But I like, hey, I'm gonna screenshot this and post this all across social media. Accounts be gone, then they create another account. They're like, oh, N-word this, N-word that, and stuff. And so yeah, it's like, it's a familiar pattern with Just a Robot and his fans, where it's like they create accounts, delete accounts, or they just create numerous accounts and stuff, just saying the same thing over and over again. But anyways,
for those that don't know about them, they really love to like create and delete accounts.
Since when was my community deleting accounts? I know people create new accounts on Twitter after you block their main Twitter, but just because they're creating a new account doesn't mean they're also deleting accounts. Now, this could
What does that have to do with it? He just said the key evidence that just proved everybody innocent. It's like, oh, they create accounts but they don't delete accounts. What does that have to do with anything? Man, I just, his brain, it got it. Honestly, the day when he gets like mad old and he leaves this world, if he does decide to reproduce, and please, to whoever his family is, donate his brain to science. We honestly got to see what was going on up there. I feel like it has to be one of those cases where it's like he had some sort of injury where, I don't know, maybe he was dropped on his head as a kid, and that's why his they just, yeah, it's like he's the person that he is today. Something happened to him, during the process, where it's just, I don't know, was he a football kid growing up, and then he just played without a helmet? And he probably, I feel like he was that type of person too. He was all like, why do I have to play with a helmet, and what rule book does it say is that I have to play with a helmet? And it's like, it says literally right here in the football rule book, you have to play with a standard helmet. And you're like, nope, it doesn't say standard, it just says helmet. So therefore, I don't need a helmet. And it's like I said, he always says some sort of like dumb argument to where in his head it makes sense. To the rest of the world, they're just looking at him like, let's just let him go, bro. If he wants to play without a helmet, get CTE, fine, go right ahead. But anyways,
could be true, but considering that TMossBoss lies a lot and he's not showing any proof, I have no reason to believe him. But remember this.
Oh, I guess, yeah, that therefore everything that I say is just, it's out the window because just the robot doesn't believe me.
This part, because it is going to be important to later.
So I went to his followers, or I went to the people that he was following. And he's following one YouTuber that I beef with, Just a Robot, for those.
So this was the second account. So right after that suicidal girl situation, somebody else had reached out to me saying the same thing. I'm like, oh, I'm feeling suicidal. So I asked them, what's the business? And then they was all like, oh, I bullied kids in school. I'm like, okay, well, reach out to those kids and apologize to them. And they was like, it's not that easy. I can't do that. I'm like, what have you tried? I'm pretty sure if not the kids, the friends of that kids are 100% on social media. Somebody knows of that person and they're on social media, and there is some sort of way to get in contact with them. I just remember them doing that at my school. I don't think they do that type of stuff now, but I remember where at my elementary school, where they gave us this booklet where it had like a list of all the different like kids names, like kids in your class and stuff. So in case if you wanted to like get a hold of them during the summer and just kind of like check in and just talk on the phone with them and stuff. But I remember them doing that. I don't know if they do that type of stuff now, but everybody is on social media. I'm like, yeah, there's some friends that I have where they're not really active on social media. And I think I did talk on this not too long ago. There was a friend of mine's, a good friend of mine's, where me and them used to hang out all the time during lunch. But they're not active on social media, so there was no way for me to reach out to them and talk with them. Well, recently I came across their sister. And I was like, hey, just tell them I said hi. Just wanted to check in, see how they're doing. And the sister was all like, oh, yeah, they're doing good and stuff. They chilling and all that. And I'm like, all right, cool. Yeah, tell them I said hi. I left it at that. That's literally all you have to do. So, but anyways, but yeah, the person was like, oh, that ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. Everything that I was sending out to them. And so that's all I was all like, you easily could like go on one of those like classmates.com, one of those websites where it has like all the information of like kids that went to your school and stuff. You could go to one of those websites and even figure out how to reach out to them. But everything I was saying wasn't helping, so I was like, forget it. I ain't even gonna be bothered. But I did check to see who they were following, and it was Just a Robot, and I can't remember if it was Joshua or I Bully Bullies. But anyways,
he is. And the guy that made the video, that was like that I ignored the suicidal girl. So I'm thinking in my head, like, why is he following? So I questioned him on that. I'm like, why are you following the people that I'm beefing with? Like, what's up with that? And he's like, I don't need to answer that question.
See how my story, how it never changes, it's always consistent. My thing is this: a person that lies, they're not going to be consistent. My thing is this: now, let's say if I was lying, if I wasn't, then I'd just be it's either be a situation where I would like to think I would be a smart liar, but I don't think anybody that lies, they're not smart. So, for an example, just a robot. But anyways, but no, my thing is this, right? Based on, I guess, like how a person lies, they're usually not going to go back and see, oh, what video, because I have like thousands of videos. I'm not going to be able to find every single video. And plus, on top of that too, I think I deleted a lot of these videos. But anyways, a person that lies, they'll say something like, so right then and there I said, like, I questioned them about it, and then their response was, I don't need to answer that. So I guess if I was lying, then I'd be all like, oh, and then they told me that they were following just a robot in some sort of way. Then they called me the N-word, and they did this, and they were saying all the, that's a lie. That's a flat out lie. I was like, no. And so the truth is, yeah, I questioned them. They asked, I don't gotta answer that. So at that point, I blocked them. I was all like, yeah, it's like, y'all ain't gonna get no video out of me. I'm like, I ain't gonna be setting myself up for failure like that no more. So it is just really messed up, because I'm like, there probably are people out there where it's like they can, overall get some sort of help. But yeah, it's just, just a robot and his fans, they ruined that, so just, I'm sorry to any and everybody out there where it's like, you're waiting for me to make a tweet like that out, so it's like you can receive some sort of help. But yeah, it's like, you just got people out there that just want to ruin it for others. And so anyways,
from there, I just like, that's when it clicked in my head that I was just all like, well, these people are fakes. Can't believe anything that they say.
Paranoia strikes deep.
Now, I could play the whole TMoss.
How is it paranoia when I literally say he ain't gonna address that? He ain't gonna address that the person was following him. Let's see if he does.
Boss has no proof of this because he.
I showed the account, all right, and the account, no, the guy, he actually still has his account up and things. I think it was, I think I posted it in a video what his account was when I talked on it. When I think I had talked on the situation with the gorilla person faking the whole suicidal thing, I showed the account. So he can say that, well, I guess this was some time ago. But I could say now I did show proof. So can't say that, but anyway.
Never does. But even if that person was following me and I bully bullies, it doesn't matter. You said if someone was a fan of me, just a robot, they could come and talk to you about anything personal.
Like the fact I would sit down, and if you guys was dealing with something personal, and if you are a fan of his and you are dealing with something personal, you guys can talk to me. You're a fan of me, you guys can sit down and talk with me. If you're just not even a fan, you're just a random person watching this video, you can sit down and talk.
But okay, so what I meant by that was that if you're having some actual issues, not some issues, oh, it's like, let's just set him up for failure and try to get some videos out of him. No, if you're actually dealing with something, not trying to get a video out of me, because my thing is this, right? So let's just say I did respond to that girl. I sat down, I took the time to help her out and all that stuff, and I was all like, okay, you're having family issues. I'm like, maybe sit down as a family and kind of just have a conversation with one another and things. Obviously, the girl, she must be, if she's so-called claimed that she was feeling suicidal, girl must be cool now. I guess, like, from what I heard, from what the friend told me, that, oh, she has like a whole new life, like she doesn't even get involved with this crowd anymore and things. But anyways, but yeah, but I just feel like that it would have been the same situation with the second guy. I'm doing my best to help him out, and they're just saying, nope, none of that's gonna work. Nothing's gonna work. That ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna, that can't happen, or that's not gonna. And so I don't think it would have mattered if I did sit down and have a conversation with the person. They still was gonna make a video out of it and things. And I think it probably would have been something along the lines like, oh, TMossBoss tried helping out this suicidal girl, but he couldn't. So it's like, and I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, wait, at least I am taking the time. When was the last time you helped out one of your fans when they're feeling a certain way? I sit down and have conversations with my people. When was the last time you did some stuff like that? So, anyways.
Talk with me.
This is something TMossBoss constantly does, and it's so bizarre. He asks people to do something, and if they do it or explain how they could do it, he freaks out. Come on, take my channel down! I don't want to take your channel down. That's because you can't! No, it would be really easy for me. All I would have to do is tell my fans to flag down the video where you attempted to dox me.
Oh my god, just a robot out of nowhere threatened to take.
But my thing is this. So what do you think is worse? Me trying to dox one of my haters, or all the stuff that he's done did to people? If I my thing is this, if I lose my channel, just a robot, he's 100% gonna be next. He is 100% going to be next. But I'm like all this. I'm like people saying that you're following them and stalking them at VidCon, the defending a pedophile situation, the racism allegations, the the sexist allegations video I just recently reacted to where you sexually harassed a whole dude on Discord. So I'm saying, my thing is this: if I lose my channel, just a robot, I'm like, bro, you public enemy #1 when it comes to channels that needs to get taken down. That's funny, but no, I do remember talking on that because these guys they were always saying that I was breaking the YouTube rules and guidelines. So I'm like, okay, then I'm like, contact YouTube, tell them I'm breaking YouTube's rules and guidelines. My thing is this: you just said right there, I tried to dox you, so go and tell YouTube about it. Nothing. Still uploading videos to this day. Reach hundreds of over 100,000 subscribers, over 100 million views. Yeah, it's just one of those things where I'm all like, I think he realizes that he's done more wrong than good in this whole situation. He realized that they definitely, if YouTube were to look into me, they gonna look into him too and see all the different crazy stuff that he done did. So
Take my channel down. He's insane. I, on the other hand, am a great person. Even if you're a fan of just a robot.
I've never said that I was a great. I would say that I have my moments where I can be great. I can be a great person, but I've never called myself perfect. I never called myself great. I never put myself on the level of no king or god or made it seem like that it's my word over everybody else's and things. I guess like, yeah, if you come to my channel, then yeah, it is one of those things where I'm like, okay, I'm going to state my opinion and I'm not going to change it for the sake of whatever your opinion is. So yeah, it's just one of those things where I'm like, I just, yeah. I don't understand just the robot's thought process, but I mean that on like some actual, like, I don't think I'm saying it more so I don't think nobody would be able to understand just the robot's thought process, because his thought process, it's like it always has to be something where it's like you have to take his side on something. You can't take your side, or they. And just my thing is this: just ask the people, what was it, the Harley person, where they was like they were cool with just a robot, they disagreed with him on something, and then he just went on some spill about like them not being cool with one another just because they didn't take his or didn't agree with him on a matter. So that's why I'm like, yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, I guess for me, I could say that, the people that I've came across and that I've been cool with, they've never had no horror stories about me because I treat everybody with respect. Can you say the same thing? So I'm like, yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, I think it's kind of like one of those like self-reflection things where it's like he's making it seem like I'm saying this, but he really does. He says this about himself. I'm like I said, it's one of those things where you have to watch his videos and really read between the lines. But anyway,
Robot, if you're feeling down or suicidal, come talk to me. I'm here to help you out because I'm a great person.
Hey, I'm kind of going through a lot in my personal life. Could I talk to you about it?
Oh my god, you're following just a robot? This is clearly a setup. I'm not a professional. What makes you even think?
and the funny thing is see, if you pay attention to how he's wording it and stuff, but I'm like, if you actually had seen that conversation, tried to help that person out on numerous things, and then yeah, that they said that I wasn't good on it, and I'm like, oh, I'm good on helping them out, and I'm like, I offered out all this different advice, and you gonna sit here and tell me that I'm not good at helping you out? At least I am taking the time on help. I don't see nobody else. I don't see just a robot taking the time to help you out. I don't see nobody else taking the time to help you out. But yeah, it's just one of those things where I'm all like, I guess like if it would have ended off with me saying like I'm ignoring you, like get out my mentions or something like that, then yeah, it would have been a situation. But to like like they talk on it in the video and things. But no, I overall called that guy out on what he was trying to do. It's like, you're trying to get content out of me and stuff. And then yeah, he just left it alone because I'm like, how come there wasn't no video followed up after that? So that's why, yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, please, just a robot. Pay attention to the stuff that you say before you say it. But anyway,
You can come talk to me about your personal problems.
And contacting me and things thinking I'm going to provide that help. No. And that's why, like, now this community has ruined the chances of anybody ever contacting me asking for help, because I'm just not going to trust the situation.
You know, I really should be surprised that TMossBoss is trying to push the blame onto us for what he did. But now I've just gone numb to everything he does. But you know what? I'm glad that the trust is broken. And I'm glad that no one with suicidal problems are going to come to you for advice. You're just about the least qualified person to deal with something like that.
At this
Oh,
point,
and your advice is the God Almighty advice that I gotta take. Cause I guess like, all right. So what do you think is much? What do you think is worse? Me saying that like, all right, if you guys ain't going to accept the help, then you might as well just go and just leave, go find somebody else to help you, or dealing with just a robot where it's like he gives out advice, it's not helpful, so he just pretty much harasses and attacks you for 4 years straight. What do you think is much more worse? I'm at least giving you guys the option to go out and find help somewhere else. Just a robot on the other hand, it's like, no, you're going to take my advice whether you like it or not. So yeah, that's I'm like, yeah, let's sit down and pay attention, to both people's advice giving. At least I actually try to help people with their problems. You on the other hand, it's like your advice, I'm saying it's one of those things where I'm like, it ain't gonna help nobody. I guess like just more so look at all the people that was in your circle that now it's like they got called out and canceled for some stuff. So anyways,
right now, I just know that if I just don't give them any material, then they can't use anything against me. They can't get any views. They can't do nothing. So
TMossBoss, you still have hundreds of videos I can talk about. Even if you don't do anything new, I have so much material to work with.
and I'm pretty.
that's just weird. I find that weird. So like, all right, so my question is what could you possibly talk about with me shouting out one of my friends? Like one of my friends creates a YouTube channel, TikTok, Twitch channel, Kick channel. I shout them out. How can you make a video talking on that? If I do a video reviewing sneakers, how can you do a video talking on me reviewing sneakers or reviewing a video game or a movie or a TV show or one of my reaction videos? The funny thing is the amount of times where he's talked on my reaction videos, he's never actually sat down and watched my reaction videos to find something to talk on. Maybe I missed something, but my thing is this. If I'm giving out good advice in a body cam reaction video where I'm saying like, hey, don't go out and commit crimes, don't do this, or explaining to people the consequences of committing this crime, where it's like, oh yeah, if you steal well over $1,000 in this from some store in this state, it could count as a felony. You could go to prison behind that type of stuff. I'm saying it's like, at least I have to say, at least with my videos, you can learn something from them. Just the robot on the other hand, it's like, yeah, you just learn how to be a toxic individual from his videos. I'm like, yeah, maybe in his other videos, he might not be all that toxic, but it's like, it ain't like those are the videos that people be talking about. It's like, I mean, just even the last video of his that went viral. I'm like, honestly, you guys sit down and think about that. It's like, you claim that you have like all these like hundreds of videos that you could talk on. Meanwhile, it's like people have made hundreds of videos on just your one video. So it's like, what do you think is overall worse in the whole situation? I'm like, yeah, at least I can say I ain't got no videos like that up on my channel. So yeah, it's just it's weird. It's weird to hear people say stuff like that because it's like there's literally nothing that you could talk about with any of the videos I've uploaded. I'm like, just find like a random video, just play Russian roulette with my channel, find a random video, talk about my most viewed video, talk about my least viewed video, talk about my. The funny thing was, even when he talked on my voice, or not, he didn't talk on them. He just showcased that they were getting a lot of views, but he didn't sit down and watch them. He didn't actually have stuff to say about the voiceover videos. So it's like, my thing is this. If you are going to criticize my content, at least watch my videos to criticize them. But it's like you're not watching the videos. You're just like, oh, he does reaction videos. We got to criticize him. His reaction videos ain't no different than Jinx's reaction videos. They just sit there. He probably did that. I had to say he probably did watch one of my reaction videos, and therefore it just like, oh, and there was probably the one reaction video where I was like, didn't really, I ain't gonna say I didn't have much of a reaction in it, but it's not as like informational as like a body cam reaction video, or if I'm doing one of those like faction where it's like one of those like unsolved mysteries and I'm explaining like how this mystery could get solved and how that mystery could get solved. So it's like, at least with me, it's like, if you watch one of my videos, it's not meant for it to be sit down and talked about. But your videos, on the other hand, it's like, I think it's the other way around. That's what I mean by that reflection stuff. It's like, you have all this content on your channel that people can sit down and talk about. But with me, it's like if you're finding the time to sit down and talk about my reaction video, it's like you're wasting your time. There's literally nothing that you could talk about with any of the videos I've uploaded, unless it's like a video that is like starting a debate or a conversation, argument, whatever. Other than that, it's like there's like videos where if I'm shouting out a friend or promoting one of my friends' content, like, because there's the one channel I have where it's like promoting my friends' Twitch clips and stuff. How can you criticize that video? What is there to talk about with that video? Where it's like I'm just the editor behind that video. I'm not even involved in those videos. I'm just editing them. So yeah, that's why it's like, you know, people say things like that, but I'm like, please do that. Please do a whole video explaining why my shout out video is bad, like, or why it's bad for that person's channel. I would love to see how that video goes down. But anyways, just based on how he was talking on the racism stuff, I'm like, yeah, it's one thing I can see that you're very out of tune with stuff. So that's why I'm like, yeah, you could do those videos, but are there going to be videos where it's like, you like there's something informational that you can learn from them? Because I'm telling you right now, I would not want to, if you were the teacher behind like some class teaching stuff about racism, I know I'm not gonna pass that class. That's one of those things where I'm like, I'm going to fail it with flying colors. Like, it's one of those things. Yeah, I learning something from you. It's like you have a better chance of, like, I guess, like learning algebra from a rock at the beach or something. It's like, at least then, you know, it's like you can maybe study something with a rock. Just a robot, on the other hand, it's like, yeah, nah, you ain't learning nothing from him.
Sure, because the funny thing is like, I'm pretty sure that if I made a video saying that, okay, well, I'm going to listen to what these guys have to say, I'm going to accept their criticism, I'm going to start listening to them and stuff, all this stuff, they would never bring it up again.
No, TMossBoss, at this point, several people wouldn't accept an apology from you. I would really like to see you change your ways and improve yourself.
What do I have to
I've given up
apologize
all
for?
hope.
That's what I would like to know. My thing is this. It's like, so my thing is, let's just use this as an example. You break into my house, I shoot you in the shoulder or something. Why do I need to apologize if you broke into my house? You put yourself in an environment where you're going to get shot in the shoulder. So what do I need to apologize for? You put yourself in that environment where, yeah, I'm going to say things. I am going to do things. If it upsets you, you put yourself in that environment. I had said numerous times I wanted to be left alone. What was your guys' response to that? So my thing is this. I'm like, I think I've said that before. It's like, I have no reason to apologize to these guys. I'm like, and if they were trying to, I think there was times where just the Robots fans, it's all like, oh, you need to apologize, this and that. I'm like, I'm not, you guys definitely ain't getting no apology out of me. That's one thing for sure. I'm like, if I apologize, I'm high on drugs and I don't know what I'm talking about. But if not that, then yeah, it's like, if I apologize, I'm like, something is mentally going on. Something's wrong with me. Because I'm like, I have no reason to apologize to you guys. So it's like, please. I'm like, just my thing is this. At least, like, if there's nothing to respond to in this video, like, you can't properly respond to any of this stuff, just list out all the reasons that I need to apologize for you. Because I guarantee that, I promise you, it's like, I'm going to pull one of your numbers and I'm going to argue every single one of those points that you lay out where I need to apologize for whatever and stuff. So yeah, because I'm like, there's literally no reason why I need to apologize to you guys. But anyways,
Hope of that ever happening.
Never bring it up again. If I bow down to these people, they will never ever in their lives bring up any situation involving me.
No, TMossBoss, even if you bow down to everybody who has done a video on you, if you're still doing stupid stuff, people are going to call you out for it.
If you guys, and it's like the fact that this has been carrying on for like 3 years now, like, I hope you guys ain't gonna be like this when you got like a family, like kids, like years done passed down the road, y'all still trying to hold on to this and things. Like, bruh, like, it's sad that people carry on like this over some YouTube videos.
Wait, didn't you say you would be fighting until you're an old man, making sure this all ends? Or at least something like that?
For all this stuff get started, just keep continue on, then yep, I'm gonna do whatever I possibly can to crack down on it. If I gotta contact YouTube on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, MySpace, if I gotta call them up on multiple different phone lines, if I gotta do everything possible All right.
I always say that. That's something I'm like, you watch my videos. Anytime when I say stuff like that, where I'm all like, oh, because I think I've even said that in shout out videos where I'm all like, oh yeah, follow them on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. If they got a MySpace, follow them on there too. But yeah, I always MySpace has been like an ongoing joke on my channel. You would know that if you watch my videos. But anyways.
To have this crap stop, I would be an old man making sure that it all ends. Okay, that it all ends. Because I'm tired of it, man. I'm seriously tired of it. All right, if I.
And the thing is this, so so the back in that like mental state and stuff, yeah, it's like because I had to say that was the first time when because usually when like with the Thomas the Tank Engine stuff with Minnesota Boy, even people that I had got into it with before, because it was like the one and only other person I had got into it with was this YouTuber named Clockwork Cyborg. And I think because me and him, we ended up being cool with one another at one point in time. So, but I think at some point he ended up leave. I don't know if he left or he just changed his name. But yeah, I don't think he does videos anymore. But anyways, but no, overall, it was like the drama would last like maybe a few days, if not. Like, I think Minnesota Boys was the only drama that lasted a long period of time, but it was just more so from like him and the like in the few fans that were upset. Like, it wasn't something that stood out, you know. But with Just a Robot, it's like he really wanted, and I have to say that's the difference between the other people that I got into it with and Just a Robot, is that he wanted his opinion to matter so much. Meanwhile, the other guys, it's like, yeah, we would get into it. I have to say the Thomas the Tank Engine community, that was probably the only other community where it was like I did see videos on me, but it was like it was just that one video. Other than that, it's all like Just a Robot. He's the only person I had to say that did and still has them up till this day. Got multiple videos on me. Minnesota Boy, he took down them videos. Clockwork Cyborg, me and him, like I remember we came to an agreement. We ended up being cool with one another. Minnesota Boy, yeah, he lost access, but I think at some point in time he did take down all that stuff too. Or if not, because I remember he did get hacked, and I think it might have been the hacker that had took down his content. So yeah, it's just one of those things where I'm all like, you know, it's just, yeah, people, they didn't hold on to no grudges and stuff. So and that's why I realized with these guys, it's like they holding on to a grudge over something silly. It's like you're mad at me over what I said in videos, and it ain't even something worth being mad over. It's like, yeah, you guys just want to be heard and listened to so much. So now as I get older and I become like, well, not become, but just as the like time and time like growing more closer just to the content creating career and stuff, yeah, you realize that it's all like, you know, at some point in time I think it had hit me that the stuff was gonna end. So I'm all like, nah, I'm not worried. I'm like, at the time being, yeah, you know, you thinking along the lines like, oh, it's gonna be like this forever. But then as you like I said, get closer and closer to become like to the content creating career, you realize like this stuff ain't gonna last forever. Like it's gonna die off, which it did. And yeah, I'm gonna have a normal career all over again and stuff, and have like even a better career on top of that. So yeah, it's like it all paid off. Like that's the crazy thing about it, is like how the situation, like it didn't, like my channel didn't grow like that much after the situation had ended, but it did grow. It started growing after it had ended. And then eventually it's like, yeah, it's like I look at just these past like 5 years of how it was, like, you know, just like how my channel had improved a lot, and I'm like, dang, this is crazy. You know, it's like, yeah, you take the time to focus on yourself, like it really does benefit your channel and stuff. So but yeah, it's like, and that's the thing, you know, you look at Just a Robot and his stuff, it's like he ain't did nothing that could benefit his channel. Yeah, at one point in time he did, but it's like, look at his recent content. You know, it's like he tried with the shorts, that didn't work, and I think he just did that more so to just piggyback off of what I was doing, trying to, oh, let me see if I could do shorts that'll get a lot of views. People still carried on that same energy from his videos to his shorts. It's like you defended a pedophile. So yeah, it's one of those things where, you know, you guys sit down and people, and that's something that I feel like that, you know, thinking about, it's like I said it more so with myself, but it's something that I feel like I predicted with him. People are going to be mentioning this every single aspect of your career. Let's say you upload a video that does well for your channel, people are going to bring it back up. You defended a pedophile. It's like you reach a certain milestone with your subscribers, people are gonna be like, you defended a pedophile. So it's like, yeah, with you, I had to say it's kind of like something I said, didn't mean it, but yeah, it's like, but with you on the other hand, oh yeah, people, they definitely gonna be bringing that up. And I feel like, yeah, at some point in time, people, they ain't going like, there's gonna be a lot of other content that I'm gonna upload where, yeah, it's like people will probably see videos like this and be all like, wait a minute, who's just a robot? And then I have to do those videos explaining, or a podcast episode explaining the situation and stuff. But anyways,
If I want to be able to be the YouTuber that I need to be in things, you know, be able to be like the next David Dobrik, buying my friends' cars, buying my like family members' cars, buying, you know, doing things for them, then I'm like, I gotta defend my name. I gotta defend my reputation. I'm not just gonna allow people to just run my name into the dirt.
TMossBoss, that doesn't even make any sense. You can be very infamous and still make lots of money. But this is the whole reason why
that's the thing. I don't want that. I'm like, I want to do. The thing is this, with my content, with my videos, I've always have said that it's like, I want people to be inspired by it. You know, I want people to follow, like, like in their own way, but at the same time, like, kind of like following my footsteps, but do it in their, like, go down their own path, go down their own road. But it's like, I don't want them to be no toxic content creator. Can you say that for yourself? No, you cannot. So
TMossBoss is doing YouTube, it's so he can get rich. Now, he says he's going to spend that money on his friends and family, but we all know he's going to keep most of it for himself.
I didn't,
so I'm supposed to just give away all my money, not be able to pay off bills on that stuff. I'm like, oh, but my friend has a Koenigsegg Jesco. My parents, they got twin Corvettes. You know, it's like, oh, they got big old fancy mansion and things. Obviously, that's up where I'm like, when have I ever said that I'm gonna give all my money away? I'm like, I ain't never said that in the video. I know I'm going to keep most of the money. So it's like, but yeah, overall, when it comes down to giving like gifts away and things, I'm gonna make sure that I have like a good financial situation, and then I start doing stuff like that. So what point were you trying to prove there? It's like anybody with, so my question is, it's like, so let's say you make $1 million with YouTube, and your family is all like, oh, well, you gotta do this, and this, and you gotta buy all these things, pretty much gonna leave you with like $1, if not 100, maybe even $100, all right, if you're lucky. But do you see yourself doing that? Nobody sees themselves doing that, all right? So I'm like, at what point were you proving there? I ain't never said that, idiot. If people want to look at me as the bad guy, I'm like, okay, so the next time you get a paycheck from whatever your job, whatever the situation is, give me all of your money. I know you're not going to do that, because who would? Like, it's, man, I'm telling you, just a robot. He says some things in his videos, and it's like, man, you really said these things. You really, like, well, I don't think he's done no real work when it comes to himself being a content creator. I think that's how it's always been throughout his career. He's always had somebody help him out with videos, and as soon as they don't, he just goes, pushes them down some, like, you know, just whatever in some other area and things of the internet, goes, gets a victim, turns them into his right hand man, their flunky and stuff, have it where they work on videos for him and things. Because the question is, who was helping out just a robot before Joshua? I'm like, who was helping out that person before that? You know, so it's like, yeah, it's always been some just sad domino effect. Then when Joshua got caught up in his stuff, he pushed them down some dark path and things, and then just got another victim, groomed them into being his right hand man, had them do some old crazy toxic stuff. And I feel like eventually that crowd built up, that he just kept pushing into this dark place, and in some aspect it's like, yeah, you know, they went against you, and I'm like, and for right reasons. So anyways,
I didn't even know who dude was until he made his video about me. And I know people gonna be all like, oh, you started all of this. No, I did not. No, I did not. You could go back to any video before defending reactors. There is not one video that I had mentioned his name or anything. So for those saying that I started this, no, I did not. He started this.
Okay, I'm like 90% sure TMossBoss is making this up, but on the
No, no, okay. You show me the video I made about you before defending reactors. I no, that's something I'm willing to bet my life savings. I'm willing to bet my sneakers. I'm willing to bet my whole content creating career. You show me a video that I uploaded on you before defending reactors. Oh, I would love to see that video. Cause I'm like, were you going by a different name or something? Were you going by? Cause if so, then I'm like, okay, maybe. If not, please show me a video before defending reactors where I mentioned the name Just a Robot. I feel like now because of AI technology, you got like a lot of people out there that could use that. But I'm like, please show me that video. I'm willing to bet my life savings. I'm willing to bet everything possible. Okay. I'm like that please show me where I'm making that up. But anyways.
Small chance that he isn't. I just want to say, I made the first video on TMossBoss. However, in my first video on TMossBoss, he said that despite Jinx doing a video on Jack first, Jack shouldn't have responded to Jinx because Jack had a higher sub count than Jinx.
What does that have to do? You just said that there's a 90% chance of me making that up. We're not talking about Jack's films and Jinx. We're talking about me and you. This ain't got nothing to do with the situation. Please tell me. Wasn't in the right state of mind when I talked on Jinx and Jack's films. Not my best video. But overall, I made up for that when I did other defending reactors videos. But let's get back to that original statement. What video do you have where, like, cause that's the thing. I don't think before that time frame, it's like I wasn't deleting videos. So you would have had any evidence and stuff of me making videos on you before that defending reactors video. So we ain't talking on Jack's films and Jinx. We're talking on me and you right now. So that's what I mean by that whole pointing finger stuff. Cause I'm like, fam, like I said, I would love to see that video. I'm pretty sure if not, because my thing is, I think not YouTube, but one of those like archive websites, or time machine websites, you could go back on people's channels and see what they were uploading at that point in time. What was the video even about? I'm like, you ain't even got to show me the video. What was the video about? That's what I would like to know. So, anyways,
Jack's films, 2 million subscribers. Jinx, 1 million subscribers.
Oh my god, you're not gonna do what I think you're gonna do.
So Jinx, he's somewhat up there, alright? So let me get this straight. You're getting mad at a person.
we seen.
And
this
I
part
had
already,
a
so.
way smaller sub count than TMossBoss when I made my first video on him. But as I have established in every video I've done on TMossBoss, he's the biggest hypocrite ever.
Now I'll just keep on saying that for the rest of my life. In this whole situation, I did not do anything wrong. From the defending reactors videos to anything else that has happened. I say the one thing that I did do wrong was the video and Joshua and stuff. That was about it. Okay, that was one thing, and I was like, and I think I did apologize for that, but only to Joshua. So yeah, if I didn't, then Joshua, I apologize for that stuff that I said about your tribute video and stuff.
Hang on a second, guys. I'll be back in a second. I think there's something wrong with my hearing receptors. I'm just gonna tighten the screws on them. I'll be back in a second. Okay. What was that, TMossBoss?
It's like it has to be a whole segment of man. His people, they were watching this. They're like, this video, hold on for a second. This video got 70,000 views. That's, wow. Okay.
I hate it when my phone goes off during recording. Hey, Mephistopheles, what's up? Wait, what? Slow down. What are you saying? What do you mean hell froze over? Okay. I'll come down there later. I'm just working on a video right now. As soon as I get it done, I'll get down there. All right? Cool. Okay, I'm back. Now, what was that, TMossBoss?
Okay, that was one thing, and I was like, and I think I did apologize for that, but only to Joshua. So yeah, if I didn't, then Joshua, I apologize for that stuff that I said about your tribute video and stuff.
Oh my god, he apologized? I know I'd given up all hope in him, but I'm starting to gain it back. Maybe there is a chance for him to change. Now, it's not a very good...
I think I did, but afterwards, I think I did say that I took back the apology, because once I seen how many people he was helping put together these videos where they were changing the narrative, I took back the apology. I was all like, nah, it's like I'm not gonna apologize to somebody where it's like they're just pretty much taking advantage of the situation. So that's why I was like, yeah, nah. I was all like, I take back seats. I'm like, no, it's just something where I'm about like, I don't know. Like with me, I guess I would have handled the situation a little bit differently, but yeah, with Joshua, it's like, that's how he wanted to handle it, and hey, be my guest. But yeah, overall, I was like, I'll say that much. I did take back the apologies. So, anyways.
Good apology, and as far as I know, TMossBoss has not apologized until now. But hey, it made Joshua feel better, and that's all that matters to me.
If I'm feeling like sad, depressed, I'm not gonna go to my favorite YouTubers. Like, I'm not gonna go to KSI, or I'm not gonna go to who else? Freaking, or one of my favorite rappers, like Ski Master Slum Guy. I'm not gonna keep tweeting them or commenting to them that, hey, I'm feeling like, no, I'm gonna seek out some help.
TMossBoss, they didn't make the offer to people to ask them for help. You did. That's the major difference. Okay.
Yeah, I was more so saying as an example, if they did, like that's, you have to explain things to him because his intellectual level, it ain't like everybody else's. It's like I think I did hear somewhere his mom was trying to explain to him that the like Earth is flat it was either Earth or no, I think that's what it was. It was like Earth is like 6,000 years old or something like that, and I'm like, that's who your teacher was. That's I just man, he's just a robot. He's gonna hate my guts at once when he does sit down and watch all these videos. And it's one of those things where I'm like, hey, if he does, he does. But that's who was there for you to teach you certain things. Wasn't teaching you morals, wasn't teaching you common sense. No, yeah, just Earth was discovered or created 6,000 years ago. I like, yeah, and then he say he read the Bible. It's like yeah, it's, it's something with just a robot where I'm like, man, I feel like calling him weird is just not enough. Like you got to say other things, but I'm like, that's the thing, you can't. Like he's one of those books where you open it up. Pages should be there, but they're not. It's like you just open up the book and it's like, what am I looking at right now? Like I can't make this out. It's like it's a foreign language, but it's English. Like I don't know what this is. It's like you try to get into the mind of just a robot, then that dyslexia and autism takes over, and of course you ain't gonna understand stuff. So I've tried that, and I'm like, I almost had to go to the hospital the last time I had to get into the mindset of just a robot. I'm like, nah, bro, my head. I was all like, I had to get an ice pack, set it right there on my head. I was like, nah, bro, that's too much. I'm like, I can't do that no more. It's like that's like you gotta like. It's kind of like one of those things. It's like kind of like in like what was that one vampire movie, Fright Night? And you gotta get like a cross and just put it on your head to just kind of like factory reset yourself. Because yeah, fooling around with just a robot's mind, it's like I feel like it's one of those things where like years down the road, it's gonna be like it's gonna be like after all of our times, they're gonna find his brain. I feel like they're gonna cut it open. It's just gonna let out this toxin. It's gonna be a whole zombie apocalypse or something. I'm like, nah, bro. It's like it's one of those things where it's like if he needs like a burial at space. I like have it where his body gets discovered from one of them like Earth-like planets, like billions of light years away. But I'm like, yeah, he don't need to, because like I said, it's gonna be like in year 3000. That brain gonna open up and it's gonna be like some futuristic zombie apocalypse and stuff. I'm like, got flying zombies and things like that. And that's why I'm like, yeah, his brain, it's one of those things. I'm like, don't have it where it gets put into somebody else. Like, cause I know people, they be like donating stuff and nah, I'm like, don't do that. And I'm like, I'd rather have a pig brain than his brain. If I was one of those people where I need a brain transplant, I'm like, no, don't give me his brain. Don't want that.
Okay, so those are all the videos of TMossBoss's I'm going to cover. Now, there were a few more videos of his I wanted to cover, but unfortunately he deleted them. But now I want to talk about two of TMossBoss's fans. And yes, he does have fans. Very few, and once you see them, you'll think to yourself, man, with fans like these, who needs enemies? The first guy, who I like to call TMossBoss's biggest fan, has already been covered by Joshua Montag and Smash Pictures. So if you want more info on this guy, I'll link both of their videos down below.
Because I believed him. I believe everything he says.
He just said it.
So he told Joshua to go to hell.
And this dude that reacted that you need to go to hell, dude.
Why did he tell Joshua he needs to go to hell? Well, it's because he doesn't like TMossBoss. And he also talked about the whole suicidal girl situation.
It's stupid how y'all say that TMossBoss ignored this suicidal girl, but he really didn't.
But as much flack as TMossBoss gets for the suicidal girl situation, this guy got more hate for talking about it than anything TMossBoss has ever done.
Whoever you are, woman, you should really kill yourself.
Wow, and just like that,
That's something that I'm like, I've never encouraged. I can say for myself, and that goes for all fans. I'm like, whether it's him or all of my fans, don't say stuff like that. You know, it's like, the thing is this, because people really go through with that type of stuff, because I ain't heard stories and situations like this is me explaining why. And I'm like, Just a Robot, on the other hand, he just says, oh, don't say it. But it's like on the low, he actually be telling people on the, like in Discord. And because I knew that these guys had like a private Discord about me and stuff. So that ain't no paranoia. That's actual facts, all right? I'm like, my thing is this. If there ain't no evidence, I'm like, I'm pretty sure the people there that were in those Discords, they still exist. I'm like, was there a Discord about me? And I'm like, because I think somebody, I had to go back and check my comments again, but I feel like that somebody did say or told me that in the comment sections that they did have a private Discord about me and stuff. But anyways, but the reason why you shouldn't say things like that is because people actually go through with that type of stuff, and you could go to prison behind that. So that's on, like, yeah, you know, I ain't never treated the situation that serious. You know, whatever a person says, they can't say that, oh, or like people can't say that I encourage that. Nah. I'm like, I ain't never told nobody to say no stuff like that. So that's why I'm like, yeah, it's one of those things where with Just a Robot, can he say the same exact thing? Where it's like all the different stuff that have been said in my comment sections. And that's the thing. Even if it's a situation where people are going to try to flip that on me, talk about I'm pointing fingers at Just a Robot, I'm like, okay, then yeah, let's just sit down and talk about that fan. I don't know who that fan is. I've never watched his videos. I don't know. I've never had no conversations with him. If they're a fan of me, they're a fan of me. The only person that I know that had talked about this, where me and them were having conversations about it, was it was a friend of mine. His name is Nate, but I think he goes by NewNet TV. That's the only fan that I've ever had known of like making videos. But whoever that guy is, I don't know who that is. So that's something where I'm like, and my thing is this. With Discord, I never really went on. So people would try to say, oh, you probably had Discord messages. No. You probably follow this person on social. Never. I'm like, you guys probably worked on videos. I'm like, where's the videos? That's something where I'm like, I thought I would have at least had some videos. I don't know who that guy is. But Just a Robot, on the other hand, can he say that about the fans that had, teamed up and tried to do some stuff to me? He knows Joshua. He knows that girl a person. He knows I bully bullies. Them are the main people that were doing stuff on me. So that's why I'm like, yeah, there's probably some other people too. But other than that, what's that one guy I just recently had talked about? He was eating the TV dinner and was reading my tweets. Can't think of that guy's name, but anyways, that guy too. But I'm not good with names, but yeah, it's like I'm pretty sure everybody that has made some sort of video or had some sort of interaction with me, they done came from Just a Robot's. They've more so been like hateful and toxic interactions. Yeah, Just a Robot probably has to, know them to an extent. Probably not know if they live in situations or whatever, but it's like they have a mutual hatred on me. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how Just a Robot. If that's not how he gained fans, then it's definitely a situation where they was already a fan of him, and they're all like, "Oh yeah, let's just make it seem like that we don't know who you are and stuff." But it's like, man, come on now. It's like, be real. But anyways,
I think this guy is worse than Tyler, which is TMossBoss's real name. And no, I'm not doxing him for saying that. He has released his full name multiple times. Now, telling a suicidal person that they should really kill themselves is just about the worst thing you can say to them. And the second worst thing you can say to them is, well, this.
Because it's better life without you.
Now, a lot of you are really angry right now, and you want to go to this guy's video and leave angry comments and dislike it. Well, guess what? According to him, he doesn't care about the dislikes.
I could put up a video about anything, and people go still watch him, dislike him. I don't care if you dislike my videos. I don't care. Like TMossBoss said.
But despite everything he said, he left YouTube after the 2 responses. You know, despite everything TMossBoss has done in several different videos, this guy has proven himself to be worse than TMossBoss in one video.
Y'all need to leave TMossBoss alone, and the suicidal girl,
But here's the thing,
Yeah, there's some people out there where they're like, they don't have like social awareness, you know, so they say things like that. And that's the sad reality of life. People say things like that, then they end up going through it, and then or somebody that they know of where they did that same exact thing, you know, they taking their life. And I don't want to like put that out in existence, but yeah, it's like, you know, people, they do things like that, and then that's what it's like, they sit down, they get to thinking about that type of stuff. So yeah, I don't condone that, I don't encourage it. It's one of those things, like I said, you know, because if somebody ends up taking their life over whatever comments and stuff, I'm like, and I've spoken out about that, so I don't know what that guy's deal was. I'm like, yeah, I don't know who that guy is. Like I said, that's one of those things where if people want to say that I'm lying, I'm like, if you don't believe anything else that I didn't say, believe me on that. I do not know who that guy is. I've never watched his videos. The only other person videos I remotely had watched, and even I didn't really sit down. And I know I probably like Nate, he might be a little upset, but it's like I just wanted to eliminate myself from the drama to where I didn't even want to watch like defense videos on me and stuff. So that's why I never seen that guy's videos. But I would watch and see that Nate, I'm like, oh, he did a defense video on me, cool, you know. But I'm not really I didn't want to be that much involved, you know, to where I'm sitting down watching all these different videos. I do appreciate Nate for you know, sticking up for me and things. I mean, if he said anything crazy or toxic, then I'm like, yeah, you know, all that stuff is out the window. I'm like, but he doesn't come off as somebody that's, you know, saying toxic stuff. So that's why I'm like, yeah, I personally think that whoever that guy is, I'm like, yeah, he got his own issues and problems. That's on him. But anyways,
TMossBoss actually commented on this guy's video, and what did he say?
What?
Great video!
I did not know. That's okay. That's something where I'm like, I did not leave that comment. I'm like, I know people are gonna probably like, nope, nope, the evidence is there. Nah. I'm like, my thing is this, because that's how people were doing that. People, they could easily go and create an account, pretend to be you, use your profile picture. If well, yeah, the guy, he most likely don't have them videos up right now, but click on that channel. If it, I guess I don't think it would be possible. Well, no, if they have like them what you call it, those time machine things, I'm pretty sure they have it where you could click on that, and then you could see that channel. I don't leave comments like that on people's videos, because I'm like, yeah, like I said, I would have sat down and watched that guy's video, heard what he said, and then been like, oh, no, I'm not agreeing with that. Why is it that even before, because I ain't never seen these videos, so why is it that I just said before that, like, I don't condone any of that stuff, but then there's a comment saying, yeah, no, I'm like, that's something where it's just, I'm looking at this, and I'm like, yeah, no, that's how I put my name, but I'm like, anybody can have that name as their, especially, no, because that's how they do it too, is like, all they just need to do is have it as their first name and stuff. So that's why I'm like, I'm happy now that I have like that verified checkmark thing. But yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, nah, I'm like, if I really do wish that video was still up, because I'm like, I definitely would have been like, okay, let me see myself if I left a comment underneath this guy's channel. But that's something where I'm like, I don't have to lie about it. I know I didn't leave no comment. I never leave comments on people's videos. It's like, I had to say, the last time I left a comment on somebody's video, it was a Duran Duran video from some time. It was like some months ago. But, or maybe, was it some months ago? It might have been a few months ago. But I don't leave comments like that. And anything that I have to say, I say it in a video. So that's why I'm like, yeah. And even, I think, not even trying to like get him to vouch. If I did leave any comments underneath his video, Nate, I'm like, this showcase that. But if not, I'm like, yeah, bro, I don't be leaving comments underneath people's videos like that. So, but no, anyways, let's continue on.
Wow. So despite this guy making one of the worst videos I've ever seen in my life,
and of course, like, you know, it probably had to have been one of Just the Robots fans. Like, I know it really does make me seem like a bad person, but like I said, I didn't agree with that guy's video. I don't agree with him saying like, oh, kill, or telling the suicidal girl, if that was the case. But it's like the girl wasn't suicidal. But yeah, I know for a fact that that wasn't me. I'm like, I don't leave comments like that. That's something I would have remembered. I'm like, because it's rare when I leave comments. So I think for the most part, I usually do remember videos that I left comments on. Because I know that's another thing where I'm all like, I remember videos even before this situation that I left comments on. Yeah, at one point in time, I used to leave comments underneath people's videos. But yeah, that guy, I don't know who that guy is. So I'm like, yeah, that's something where I'm like, I really do wish that there is a way I could have proven that. But again, it's one of those situations where it's all like, people can take my word for it, but it's just, that's another thing too. It's like the amount of times where I've spoken out about that, like, just, death and things, like talking on somebody that suicidal and all that stuff. What? But, and no, that's the thing too. Why would I make make a tweet saying, if you're feeling suicidal, reach out to me, talk with me, and all that stuff, and then turn around and say good video on that? It's just, man, people gotta sit down and think. But yeah, believe me if you want to. At the end of the day, it's like, I know there's gonna be people that's still going to stand by that and things. But yeah, I'm like, I just know that was definitely one of his fans just going, creating an account, pretending to be me and stuff, and then just being like, oh yeah, it's like, I'm gonna make it seem like maybe he was aware of it, maybe he wasn't aware of it. But yeah, I'm like, people could easily do that. So anyway,
as he defended TMossBoss, TMossBoss just says, great video. Now, he does go on to say, don't wish death upon someone and other stuff like that. But if I saw one of my fans make a video like this, I would not say, great video. I would be pissed. If anything, them being a fan of mine would make things worse. But to someone like TMossBoss, it makes them borderline perfect. Now let's talk about TMossBoss.
Yeah, TMossBoss fan. I'm like, this is an actual channel? I don't remember this channel. Yeah, that's, I'm like, God, there are some of these channels, it would be mad funny though if these channels was like proven to be fake. Honestly, like, no, that's the thing. It wouldn't surprise me, because I'm like, it's just so many different times where I've seen that stuff before, where they just create accounts, pretend to be somebody, or just overall creating just a dummy account to leave some comments. But the only person that I was aware of that was following this is Nate. So I'm like, and I'm like, I just find that funny though that he ain't being talked about, because I'm like, he did say people were like disliking his videos and leaving comments. I'm like, and I have to say he's probably the one person that was like normal, because that's what I say. I'm like, from what I've seen of Nate, from just the interactions I've had with him, he don't come off as somebody that's like saying toxic things. So yeah, that's why I'm like, I just and I don't know, like, when I've seen when people have done stuff like this, they'll be in my comments and they'll say like, TMossBoss fan. I don't pay attention to it, because I'm like, yeah, maybe this person did leave comments underneath my videos. I just don't pay attention to stuff like that, because I'm like, I don't know. I'm not active with accounts where they're all like, oh, they gotta like self-proclaim that they a TMossBoss fan account and stuff. I've said that numerous times where I'm all like, people, I'm not no king, I'm not no god, don't treat me that way. I just, yeah, but anyway.
Boss fan. After watching some of this guy's content, it's clear to me that this guy is a troll. Especially with the way he responds to people who comment on his stuff. But one thing he did really ticked me off. Even if he is trolling, there's a point where it goes too far. He showed this comment I quote-unquote made.
You sit on a throne of lies.
Now let's go through all the reasons why this comment is so suspicious. 1, why would I talk about something like this in a public place? 2, there's no context for the comment. What video is it under? Who am I talking to? But the most suspicious thing of all is, the date and time for when the comment was posted is blanked out. It seems to me that someone posted this.
You just did the same thing with the account with the suicidal girl. So it's one of those things. It's okay if you do it, but it's a problem when I've talked on that so many different times. It's like, man, just a robot, man. Pay attention to the stuff that you say, bro.
This comment, either with a fake Just a Robot account or using Photoshop to make it look like.
So it's like, so my thing is this, right? It's me when I guess if I say something, but it's a fake account with you. Yeah, that's why I'm like, yeah, it either was him or it was somebody that he knows that was pretending to be me. But I know for a fact that I ain't leaving no comments underneath nobody's videos and stuff. And that's the thing where I'm like, I'm not mad about it. I don't feel a certain way about it. I'm like, I know that there's people out there that do crap like that. But yeah, but with him on the other hand, he's like, oh, it really ticked me off that the guy would do that. And I'm like, why would it tick you off? Because it has to me, my thing is this. It has to be to a certain line of like truth behind it and stuff where he probably, yeah, maybe not public, But yeah, he definitely probably talked on this stuff privately, because I'm like, I just feel like for as long as this situation dragged out, what was the end goal? So that's what I would have liked to have known. But
like
anyways.
me. But because they knew they would get called out because the comment said it was posted a few seconds or a few minutes ago, they had to block out the time. And even then, I've said multiple times I don't want to take TMossBoss's channel down. He's a great lol cow for the whole world to laugh at. And how long do I have to even wait to blame something on TMossBoss? 5 seconds? And you guys know how bad I am at spelling grammar and punctuation. I almost never put commas in my comments. Now, I've seen this fake comment of mine before, and from what I understand, one of TMossBoss's legit fans made this for him. Man, TMossBoss...
I'm like, so what does that say about you and your fans? Where I have said that numerous times. This is what, the one time where you bring that up? I'm like, if my thing is this, if that is one of my fans, who would they learn it from? That's what I would like to know. So
Boss and his fan base have no shame whatsoever. They will stoop to any level. Now, I want to say one more thing about TMossBoss. Despite him constantly saying I sent my fans to attack him, even though I've never done anything like that, TMossBoss has actually tried to send his own fans to attack iBully bullies who used to be known as mainstream media commentary.
Yeah, I think I do remember I made some video and I did say that, and I was all like, go dislike their videos and stuff. I'm like, they doing it to me. I'm like, give them a taste of their own medicine. Not realizing that that's not how it works. It's just one of those things where it's like, you just gotta let life play out. Eventually they will face their own karma. I don't think iBully bullies though. I don't think he's ever got caught up for no stuff. But even he sat down, took the time to apologize to me. So that's what you realize when you then did something wrong, when you gotta sit down and take the time to apologize to somebody and stuff. And I think, yeah, I did it. I remember having a conversation with him and he apologized and I did accept his apology, but I think it was just more so to just have it where me and just a robot had some conversation. He claimed that he wanted us to work things out, but I'm like, the only way they'll be able to work things out is if he apologized. So that's why I'm like, if he wants to do that, cool. If not, there ain't nothing for us to talk about. So anyways, I feel like that somebody like him needs to just know when to leave a person alone. So I want you guys to have a field day. So I think that's why I was building up my sneaker collection. Dang, I'm like, I was like, it just, that's why I was like, kind of just, I had some, but then it's like, dang, it got wild at some point in time, man. But anyway, on his channel, like, just give him the same treatment I'm giving, or that I'm getting. Dislikes, crazy comments, all that stuff.
That's low, Tyler. I never sent anyone to your channel.
Wow, out of all my years on YouTube, I have never seen another YouTuber tell his fans to attack someone else. And I'm pretty sure that's against YouTube's terms of service.
But it's okay if you do it, right? It's like, oh, because you don't say it in a way where you're telling them. But yeah, but my thing is this, right? When you make hate videos on somebody, because you say you were a hater. If not, then what are you? You somebody, in like a stalker, a hater. You're somebody when it comes to this whole situation between me and you. What have you always done? When my thing is this, right? If you want to erase the cyberbullying stuff, harassment, I've never went out of my way to leave no comment underneath your channel. And if you say that I did, show proof, okay? But my thing is, and actually show proof, okay? But I'm like, because I'm pretty sure you could use OBS Studios to record a video and then have it, or yeah, to record the screen and stuff and have it where you go to that video, click on the account and see what pops up. If my channel pops up, then okay, cool. Then I left a comment underneath and I just flat out lied. Never left a comment underneath any of your videos. But the amount of times when your fans have harassed me, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, he knows that overall, if it was a situation, because I'm like, okay, my thing is this: why was I not reported when I had left that comment underneath the person's video, praising their video and stuff, whoever that fan was? I'm like, why did I not, my channel not get taken down? Then the funny thing is that you say in one statement that, I don't want to take his account down because he's funny. It's like, I like laughing at TMossBoss and stuff. So I'm like, I guess that's maybe where the cyberbullying falls in place. But because I've always said, it's always been about defending myself at things. But the harassment though, I'm like, man, please. I'm like, you really gotta, like I said before, if my account gets taken down, you're next. I'm like, cause it's like my thing is this. I'm like, there should have been so many different times and occasions where you guys should have reported me for a video that I uploaded, for something that I said, for something that I did. You guys never did. That's why I had made those videos saying take down my channel, take down my accounts. You know, if I so-called did these things to where it's like it's against the guidelines and stuff, contact YouTube over it. But yeah, that's the thing though. These guys, they know what they be talking about behind the scenes regarding me and stuff, and that's when they're all like, well, we know we can't because we turned around and we did the same thing ourselves. We actually started all of this stuff. So, but anyways, yeah, and my thing is this. I'm like, what about Nate? I'm like, that's the one fan where I had to say that he if anybody should be reporting somebody, it should be Nate. Because it's like, you guys, all he just did was a video defended me. Which you guys do? You harassed him and cyberbullied him over it. So it's like I say, it's always a thing where it's okay if they do certain stuff, but it's a problem if I do it. Anyways.
But now I'm going to explain why I did one more video on TMossBoss and why this is the last one. Maybe. The reason why I did one more video on TMossBoss is because in my first video on him, I had 700 subs and he had 7,000 subs. He had 10 times the amount of subscribers I did. And now, at long last, I have 10 times the subscribers he does. And he's still not even twice as big from when I first talked about him. As for the reason why this is going to be the last video on TMoss,
I'm telling you, I have the amount of times, because I would, anytime when me and him would have a conversation, like when he would get into my comment sections and start talking about some stuff, I'd just be like, well, bro, I got more subscribers and views than you. So it's like, if my videos are that bad, I'm like, I kind of find that odd, where I'm like, more people are subscribing, watching my videos. He ran with that. That's something that I know that it 100% got in his head. 100% had gone in his head. And I don't know. It's something where I'm like, people, they bring that up. And I'm like, yeah, I take responsibilities for that. I'm sorry to any Just a Robot victims. Because even, I think, who was it? Was it Lin Lin? I think it was Lin Lin, where it was he tried to like threaten them with his like subscriber count and views. And then I think it was with I can't remember. I don't think it was Harley. But he was all like, he mentioned it again. And I'm like, bro, don't nobody care about your subscribers and views? And I'm like, maybe at one point in time, yeah, it probably was a little bit threatening. But now it's like, bro, ain't nobody jumping. It's one person jumping to your defense. That's it. That's the only other person that I've seen jump to your defense. If everybody else, bro, they are jumping ship. They're like, this ship is sinking, bro. This train is going to crash and explode. I am not going to be involved in this. I'm jumping, bro. Like, that's the best thing to do. Jump ship. Get out of here while you can. But anyways.
boss, well, it's because there's nothing else I can talk about. I've said everything I wanted to say on him. I've even repeated a couple of the points I've made about him a few times. I want to move on and talk about other lolcows. But the reason why I said maybe after I said this was the last video I was going to make on him is because I've seen a lot of people say they were done with TMossBoss, but then he does something just incredibly stupid. And they just have to talk about him again.
What am I, but that's the thing though, what am I doing that's so stupid? I'm making videos telling y'all to leave me alone, and that's considered stupid? Wow. But it's not harassment though. No. It's not harassment.
I'm gonna try my best not to talk about TMossBoss, but I'm not saying there's absolutely no chance I'll do another video on him. Especially if the situation with him really blows up. And I mean like Leafy is here levels. Speaking of blowing up, I have a question for you, TMossBoss. You keep talking about how you're gonna blow up on YouTube any day now. So my question is, when do you think that's gonna happen? In the next—
I think maybe the year 2024, you know, when I start doing voiceover videos and then you go down defending the pedophile. That's the funny thing is though, that's what his response was, I guess, to outdoing me. He's like, oh, I really know how to outdo TMossBoss. I'm gonna do this video defending this pedophile, not read no evidence, not do any of that stuff, right? I'm gonna do this video defending this pedophile. I'm gonna one up TMossBoss. So I'm gonna get 300,000 subscribers. I'm gonna get 400,000. I'm gonna get 10 million subscribers. Like, this is gonna be the best thing for me and stuff. I'm not gonna do anything to improve my dying channel. No. I'm gonna. The thing is, no. He's all like, I'm not gonna do anything to downgrade my dying channel. I'm gonna improve it. I'm gonna do this video defending this pedophile. It's gonna be the best video ever. Look, my thing is this. You still might have more subscribers than me, but I have more views than you. I'm like, that's one thing. I'm like, I feel like with TikTok, Instagram, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. I'm trying to think what else. Possibly even maybe Facebook, because I know Facebook, they have it where they post my reels on there too. But overall, yeah, I'm like, it's one of those things where I'm all like, bro, I'm doing better than you. So it's like, and yeah, I guess like even though you do have more subscribers than me, but it's like I'm growing and your channel is dying because of like our last few videos. So it's like, really, I'm like, that's one thing about it, is that I've never been in no desperate attempt to be like, oh, let me do a video that everybody's gonna disagree on, people around me and stuff. No, I'm doing videos entertaining people. My thing is this. My question is to Just a Robot. Do you think you'll be able to do the same type of videos that I'm doing and do them better? Let's see you do reaction videos. Even if you don't even want to do reaction videos, I still got a gang of other videos that you could do. Make music, do gaming videos, stream on Twitch playing video games. But here's the thing though, you doing all of that, your past is still gonna follow you, bruh. I don't have no past. There ain't no past to like that's going to be dragging along with me. And like I said, people are gonna bring up the stuff that you and your fans accuse me of, and you guys already know my answer for that. And I'm like, and that's just gonna be my answer from here on out. Okay, and that's it. That's all that y'all gonna get from me. So anyway,
Next 5 years and the next 10 years.
How about now? See that? He blew up. He blew up. Sorry, Jar. Continue on.
I've been talking about you for over 3 years now, and you haven't even doubled your sub count. Face it, unless you make some major changes, it ain't ever gonna happen.
Then what's funny, then when I did start doing the voiceover videos, that's when he did that video where he was all like, where's TMossBoss right now? And then so I, in a way, changed. Still doing the same content, still being who I am and stuff. Ain't really that much change. I'm like, I just started doing another line of content things that did well for my channel. But overall, though, it was something wrong with that. And that's why I'm like, fam, that's the thing with Just a Robot. It don't matter what you do. He's still gonna find a reason to talk about you and stuff. My thing is this: I can land a movie role with Denzel Washington, or I don't know, Sydney Sweeney or something. Yeah, have me in the next season of what is that TV show, Euphoria or something like that. Me being some old crazy crackhead on that show and stuff. Honestly, I would take that role. I'm like, nah, I feel like HBO, you're gonna get paid doing some HBO shows or movies and stuff. Yeah, have me in Euphoria or the next Game of Thrones show or whatever. But anyways. But no, he's gonna find something that he's all like, oh, his acting skills isn't all that good. He does this and it irritates me. I can't even watch the show no more. And it's probably his favorite show and things. So that's why I'm like, man, oh man, and you know, Just a Robot, you're a character, bro. You is really a character.
To everybody watching this video, if there's one thing I want you to take away from my video series on TMossBoss, it's that this is a cautionary tale about how not to act on YouTube.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm like, and who got canceled for what? Like, yeah, I find that funny, but I'm like, that would be my question to anybody watching. Would you rather go out like me, I guess, yeah, you know, with doing voiceover videos and having a successful channel, or would you want to go out for defending the pedophile? Sit down and think about that, all right? But anyways, yeah. Talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for the next video, and peace.